Okay, we just got live now. I don't know. Well, we're live now. So hi, I haven't seen you guys in a while. Usually lately I've been talking Dancing with the Stars, but that show's not back yet. It's coming back in a few days. Right now I have Sophie with me to talk America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I love your cat ears. I think that's what those are, right?
Yeah.
Cat ears.
Yeah, I own 5 pairs.
Oh, so
Yeah.
awesome. I love those.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, so I should explain this. Sorry, okay. I actually, for those of you who don't know who watch my channel, I do a blog called Pure AGT, which is a sister blog of Pure Dancing with the Stars, which I know is kind of notorious in that fandom, but mine is a nice blog. We don't trash people, so we're good there. And yeah, I've been covering this since last year, and I haven't done any of these live ones yet for Pure AGT because I haven't really found anyone to talk with, or I don't know, it's just kind of a weird schedule, but now here we are. So I kind of just dragged Sophie into this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so Sophie, why don't you introduce yourself and talk about your experience with the show, because you have actually more exciting experience with the show than I do.
Yeah.
Well, I get us pimped out.
All right, well, hello everyone. My name is Sophie. I'm 18, and I started watching AGT in season 8. I discovered it because on my 14th birthday, I was going to New York City just for fun, and on the bus, a girl in front of me was talking about this one act. She's like, oh, there was this guy on television last night on America's Got Talent. He just levitated. So I went up and looked up who that was because it sounded cool and it was Special Ed at the time. So I started watching it, and then I got hooked right away. So I didn't see anything live in season 8, go to it. But starting in season 9, I asked my dad, the tickets are free. We live an hour and a half from New York at the time we did. So can we take a bus in to go see the live show? And he's like, sure. So season 9 and 10, we went to New York to see the live shows. And 11 and 12, we've flown out to Hollywood, about 2,000 miles away, just for the show because I'm really, really obsessed with it. And I go out and I meet a bunch of contestants. I've kept track. I've met over 45 at this point. And yeah, it's really fun.
So yeah, you've actually been watching longer than I have then. I kind of watched off and on, maybe mostly season 10, I think, is when I started getting more into it, kind of, just because I loved all the variety, and you don't really get as much of some of those acts on TV these days. And then the year after that, I was doing some chats with Pure Dancing with the Stars, and then the guy who runs that, John, asked, hey, do you want to run one of these blogs, want to revive one of these blogs for our shows? Because Courtney from Pure used to do Pure GT, and now I do it since last year. So there's a couple years off where no one was doing it. So yeah, I run that now. So I watch AGT regularly now, and I really like it. It's really fun. I mean, I know it's changed a lot in the past years. I know it kind of changes every few years with different judges and now different hosts, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Even when it's mind-numbingly frustrated, as most reality show competitions seem to be, it's still fun to snark on, because I don't know, it just feels because I watched Dancing with the Stars, and I watched a few other ones, I watched Survivor or whatever, although Survivor's not really the same kind of thing. AGT just feels so much more relaxed and fun. It's like a summer show. It's we don't see everyone every week. They just kind of pop up. They rotate, so we just see them and we just see what their acts and what they do. And it's kind of everyone kind of wins because they all get exposure, and yeah. And the prize itself isn't as big as it was before, because it used to be a full run Vegas show, and some people are still under the impression that's what it is. But it's a weekend now, and it's gone from 5 days to 2 days in the past couple of years. So it's not really a big deal. And all the finalists perform. So really, the show is just it's just seeing variety. It's just fun. So yeah, this is just the little intro, because I don't know how many of my regular YouTube viewers watch this show. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Any thoughts on this season so far? This is actually a question, I think, asked by Josh. Yeah, Josh asked, what are your thoughts on this season? AKA the most generic thing ever. But thank you for sending something in, Josh.
Well, in my opinion, of the 5 seasons I've seen, this is probably the worst. And I don't want to sound harsh, but I don't know. I mean, like, it's just every year there's always like an act I was just waiting to see, or some acts I was like obsessed with. But this year, just I don't know. There's a lot of singers, and I don't know. I miss Nick Cannon, and this season isn't god awful, but it's not the best. Hopefully, next season will be better. And I know a lot of people are saying this season's like one of the weaker seasons, and I agree. But I still watch it because I still love the show. So.
1 second. You want to come in? I have someone who matches you.
Aww. Aww. Aww.
Pretty much every week. Actually, a couple weeks ago. Okay, so regular viewers of mine know that Zoe what always is always with us when we're watching TV, my family and I at night. She was a big Erica Jane fan on Dancing with the Stars last season, and then on this show she's taken to a favorite as well. Her favorite, who she just stops and just like stares and watches, is Hero the dog.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, you like Hero, don't you? That's Zoe, by the way.
Aw, it's always adorable.
Yeah, Zoe. Yeah, she pays attention to TV. Like, we'll put on animals and she'll watch them. So yeah, she's like staring at Hero. So like,
Aw.
yay! Really likes him. So I'm sure she's happy. We're gonna see him again next week, aren't you? Okay, I'm gonna go let her out. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, that's over. Okay, she just really wanted to leave my room. Had her locked in, and I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, sweetie. Yeah. So I kind of agree with you on this season. Like, I know we're mostly gonna probably be talking about the finale in a few minutes, but like, I was looking at the lineup for this year's final, and while I do like it more than last year's final, like I look at season 10, which was 2 years ago, and like season 10's like at least like 2 or 3 magicians. They had the regurgitator. You got Paul the ventriloquist. I think there's only 2 singing acts, and one was a band.
Yeah.
And
They're
speaking of which, we haven't had like any bands on lately. Like I think last year we had Edgar, which was like very like the family band. It was very low, mellow. Like it wasn't like a band like what you think when you hear the word band. So like I'm hoping for more bands next year. Like if we're gonna have acts Simon can sign, like get a band because we can't see those on other shows.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so I should catch everybody up. Okay. So the main complaints we seem to have with this show, the fandom seems to have, is that ever since Simon Cowell joined the panel last year, and I think he's produced the show for a while, his company Psycho. But what?
He owns the show.
He owns the show. Yeah, it's his show, and he does the Britain one as well. We've seen like a ton of singers, and like I was actually watching one of the contestants on Instagram Live, and I asked him. This was Christian Guardino. If why he picked America's Got Talent as a show to go on, like what was the draw or whatever, and he's like, well, I wanted to sing for Simon Cowell. So I'm thinking maybe that's the reason for it, because like everyone wants to sing for Simon, and maybe get noticed for him because X Factor's not a thing anymore over here. So I guess that makes sense, but like, I mean, I can't blame them, but I blame the judges for it because they send through a lot of singers. They golden buzz the singers, aka they send them right from wherever auditions or whatever point they're at to the show, the live episodes. They and then they send a bunch more through after that. So yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, that's why.
What kind of what go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, I agree with you. That's why singers have probably been joining a lot lately because like X Factor's gone. There's no American Idol. It's coming back, but there's still an age limit. So yeah.
Yeah, like I don't mind the kids so much. Like I have criteria for the musical singing acts that I can handle. Like I know everyone's is different. I think it's like people who aren't in the age for the other shows. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, come on. If you're too young or you're too old, if you're in the age limit for the other shows, but you sing like original music or stuff you couldn't get on the other shows, I'm cool with you here. Just like yeah, basically it's whatever you can't get on like The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
I welcome. Like I'm like okay, sure. I'm kind of I might start feeling that way with the dancers soon if World of Dance becomes more of a thing, because I know there was like some backlash this season, but they're gonna try again next year, and like yeah, with that show. But like again, like most of the dance acts we've seen this season, I think only Just Jerk would really fit in with World of Dance. I think the ones we have left, well, Merrick I know auditioned and he almost made it, but like, and So You Think You Can Dance, we don't see those kind of acts on America's Got Talent auditioning anyway. They're on So You Think You Can Dance, so it's like I feel like it's fine. But like Light Balance, which is the light up dance group, and then like Diablo, which is acro mostly, like you can't get that elsewhere. Like World of Dance didn't even like burlesque mixed with ballroom, so like they wouldn't like them, so I feel okay with that. And I think everyone else, I think every other kind of act I think's fine.
Yeah, like I really loved Diablo, and they probably couldn't get on any other show.
Diablo, I think, like, oh my gosh, I love Diablo. We can get to them in a bit because like we're gonna talk about the finalists. So we actually, before we get to that, we have some questions for Sophie because, as Sophie said, she has been to live shows.
4 times.
She's been to 4 live shows. I actually had some questions for her, and then we have some from other people as well. We got, okay. What's it like being an audience member? Is there any behind the scenes stuff you can share? That's another by Josh.
From being like in the theater?
From being the live audience, what's basically your experience as a live audience member? I guess you compare Radio City to Dolby as well, because I know you've done 2 at each.
Yeah, Radio City is actually a lot bigger than the Dolby Theater, believe it or not. Radio City is huge, and personally, I like the Radio City venue more, but But anyway, being a live audience member is really cool. Me and my dad, we always get tickets like really fast, like first ones to get them, first in line every year. So we get tickets like right in like within the first like 6 rows. It's really awesome. It's like up close and personal. It's really cool. Behind the scenes, like you know how when the judges like, film those little skits like buzzer buddies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When I went last year to season 11, they filmed like one of those buzzer buddy kind of extras, fillers, and it's really cool. And it's fun to see like how the stagehands come on, like, how fast they can set up the stage for the next act. That's really cool.
Like the stagehands for these shows are unreal. Like, I think for the show and So You Think and Dancing with the Stars and all those, like a lot of like I was like watching this week. Mandy had those lanterns behind her. I think it was Mandy, and I'm like, are they really hanging there? Like, how are they gonna like? Or is it like a thing they push on and off? Like that looks so complicated. Like
for example, this was like a bigger set with Trump singing Trump. They had like that big laugh. Yeah. That was all on wheels. A lot of the sets, like Grace Vanderwaal's set, it was like styrofoam trees, and they could just wheel it on and off. So yeah, they gotta they pre-taped some of the acts too that have bigger sets. Like Billy and Emily were pre-taped right before the show. Bello Knock was actually pre-taped Monday. They had like a special like little audience come in for him, and I was actually in that row that was directly behind the judges to see that, and I actually saw myself when I watched it back on TV, so that was really cool. And I wasn't sitting right behind the judges, but I was in that row, so I was very close to Simon Cowell. And to see like Bello do that Wheel of Death thing live in person, right up there, right in front of my eyes, was amazing. The way they aired it on TV didn't do it any justice. They always cut at all these angles. They cut to the judges. I actually got to see it like right there. So it was scary. It's real. It's not fake. It is totally real.
Yeah, like that looked amazing. Like that was probably my it's probably like one of my top 3 performances this season now. It was definitely my favorite of the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Of all the shows I've ever seen live, to witness live, that was the coolest thing.
Oh my gosh. Definitely. Like that sounds amazing. Like oh my god, I was freaking out seeing it. Like like you're so lucky you got to see that. Like I don't know, I just love that act. Like I thought, okay, because I remember like the day beforehand you were like describing it to me, and then I was like spoiling it on the blog, and I'm like, okay, well, it's this wheel thing. Yeah, it sounds interesting. And then you're saying, oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm like, okay, but it's like a wheel. Like, what's he gonna do? And then I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like an act. Like he's doing like stuff. It's like adding suspense. Like this was like a true like Vegas thing. Like this was like, and I know he's like one of the ones who's done stuff before, so it's not like he's totally new at this. Like. But like that was really impressive. Like that's what I like about the show. You see stuff that you don't see elsewhere.
Yeah. Along
So
like
what? Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say like a little thing about like Bello. Every year when I go out, I like to meet the contestants. He was the first one I actually saw, but he was the last one that I met. When I saw him first, I didn't know at the time he was a wild card. So I looked at him and I saw him from behind, like his spiky yellow hair. I'm like, is that Bello Nog? I thought he got like cut in judge cuts. So I'm like, nah, it's probably just some other guy with yellow hair. But then as he was turning, I'm like, oh, that's him. So for those whole like span of like 5 days, I was looking for him, trying to meet him, but he was the last one that I met. So it's pretty cool. He was the first one I saw and the last one I met.
Wow.
Yup.
Oh my gosh, so like seriously, like Bella was really obviously a wild card to me. It's like they set up storylines and like that was his thing, like trying to impress everybody enough and like I don't know, because remember Steven from last year, aka the most obvious wild card
Even Brundage, yeah.
ever. And then like the second after like he gets eliminated, Howie goes on Twitter, who wants Steven to be a wild card?
Mm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
With Bella, yeah, I mean, like, I thought I was gonna be able to guess certain wild cards. Like, Bella was the only one I guessed. Like, I think the other two were like so obviously fodder. Um, like there was a lot of good choices, and then they picked who they picked, and like, I mean, I don't want to offend who they picked. I mean, I'm sure that would have been offensive, but like,
Remember Tom London, the magician? He kept making like Instagram posts and like Twitter things, like making it sound like he was going to be the wild card, and I thought he
yeah.
was, but nope.
So many of them this season were like doing campaigns, and I think what some people didn't realize was like I think I figured this out this season, because like Bello like hinted at he's like, oh, a few weeks after my judge cuts I got called in. Like I think they know for the quarterfinal wild cards they know like shortly after judge cuts who they're gonna pick, and then they kind of give them some of them get an edit that would like imply like someone for the audience to root for and like they're kind of the underdog. Like last year's one, like that Steven almost made the finale.
Yeah.
He was like really, he was like, well, I guess I'd call him top 12 because he was one of the two who were on the bubble that lost in the semis. So like,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Like, I don't know, like, so yeah, like I thought Bella was gonna do that. I was gonna like at least make the semis, and then like,
America's scared of danger. I noticed that with like danger acts, they either barely make it through or don't make it through. Like Deadly Games, they made it through, but through Duncan's save. Passing Zone, they made it to the semis, but from a wild card. So
Billy and Emily somehow made top 5 the
yeah,
quarters, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so funny because like they called Billy and Emily in the quarters right at the end. They were like the last ones called safe, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought it was gonna be Bello. And then in the semis, like even though I knew like logically, because I was like looking all around Facebook, all around whatever, see what the casuals think, and they were really big fans of Sarah and Hero. And then it was Sarah and Hero and Billy and Emily in the end. I'm like, please do not pull this again. Like, don't pull it again. Like, I like Billy and Emily, but like, if I have to pick one, please Sarah. Like, I was scared it was gonna happen again.
between Sarah and Hero and Billy and Emily, as cute as Sarah and Hero are, I actually would have gone with Billy and Emily because like I think it's like captivating to see, and like danger is kind of like my favorite category, but that's just a personal preference.
I
So
wanted both so badly. Like, I had a feeling I wasn't getting Billy and Emily, but like, I wanted both for the out of that group because like that group for me was kind of the weaker one of the two semis. But like, I wanted both, and like, I knew I was gonna win. I was glad I got Sarah. Like, also because we haven't had an animal act like even like make it to the live shows in a while, so
yeah.
it's cool to have one in the final.
Yeah, I think the last animal act to make it to the lives was the Latte Dogs. I mean, the finals was a Latte Dogs. I
And they
think.
won, right?
Yeah, they won. Season
Yeah,
7.
they won season 7. Oh yeah, I knew it was either 7 or 8. Yeah, so like it's cool that we have like that. Actually, getting into the finals. Okay, so we actually I think for the variety acts anyway, there's more variety. Like there's quite a few variety acts this year in the finals that were barely represented in the live shows at all last year, or not at all. Like we have Darcy who does ventriloquism, which
Mhm.
I'm kind of glad there wasn't any last year just because Paul won the year before, so it's like
Yeah,
it's more exciting again now.
to bring it back after not having it.
Bring it back like just to like take a break because like people get compared to whoever was on last year, and usually they pale in comparison because everyone expects them to be just like their equivalent from the last year. Who else? Preacher. Yeah, this none of this. Well, Lori lasted to the semis, and
Yeah.
that was it.
I saw her there this year. She was walking around. She went to
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
she's done YouTube videos. I was watching her. Those were funny. She did some cool YouTube videos. She was talking about like how shocked she was Puddles got eliminated. And
Yeah. I watched Puddles get eliminated, and it was the
I'm
saddest
so
moment.
sorry you had to see that.
I saw him get buzzed live, and everybody around me was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, everyone go fight Simon right now."
Like, Simon does not look happy, and then I heard Buzz, and I'm like, oh no, really? That's who you're gonna buzz?
Yeah, of all the people in that show, I wouldn't have expected it to be him.
Yeah, I know, that sucked.
Yeah.
So we got them. We got Sarah and Hero the dogs. We got whatever ideas. We got Light Balance and Diablo. Like, and last year the dance acts didn't even make it past the quarters.
Yeah, because they all just blended together.
We're in the finale now. I thought there was no way we were getting both in the finale. When they when I saw they're on the same semis night, and I'm like, okay, so we're getting one of them. Like, I feel like we're getting one of them, but like not both. And then we got both, and I was like, yay!
Yeah, because I like them both.
Pardon?
I like them both a lot, and they both deserve to be in the finale.
I think every year, like, I kind of like watch now and like say, okay, this is gonna be my golden buzzer. Like when I'm watching, it's like, hey, this is who I would set. Like, this is like they have to make it. Like during the auditions, like I just think in my head and like, and I save it and whatever. Like this year it was Diablo, so I'm so happy they made the finals. I don't know. I'm just like, I love them.
I like them too. Yeah. And Light Balance, the only non-singing golden buzzer this year.
The only non-singing golden buzzer. That's why I wanted to make the finals so much, partly just because, like, yeah, we can show them that like the non-singers can make it. Because like, well, last year we had John and Sophie make it, and I think it was out of the non-singing golden buzzers. But yeah, like
there's another one, I think.
No, John? For the one thinking the finale.
Oh, for the finale, yeah.
Finale, because like Malevo.
Malevo, yeah. I saw them live too.
What show were you at last year?
I was at the first semifinal. So I had Malevo, Tate Face, Grace Vanderwall, Lori Mae Hernandez. I met him. He's so nice.
Next month. I know. I remember. Like, oh yeah, now I remember because like I see her in the back right now, and I remember you were like Tate Face.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can see like right there. I painted that for him, and he signed it. I met him on his birthday too, right in front of the hotel.
Him. Like I'm seeing him next month. He's coming here, and I'm like, we have to go. Like this is the first actually. This is the first America's Got Talent act I'm seeing in person.
Oh wow.
And it looks like I'm going to be seeing two because I just found out The Illusionist, which was here last year, but we didn't end up going to see it because I don't know why, like we had to miss it, and I was so disappointed. And Colin's in our version.
What?
Colin's in our version of The Illusionists.
Oh, cool! I saw an interview with him and Tate Face like today.
I love that. I think we saw the same one. It was on the blog, right? On the Tumblr blog.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that, and we also, and that show also has someone from Britain's Got Talent and someone from Australia's Got Talent. So we got a lot of Got Talent guys. I'm gonna check them out before I go see. Like some of them look really cool. Like there's one guy who's just like this quirky dude who does like juggling and stuff and like weird tricky stuff. I'm like, I'm just so excited for that. So I'm like, actually, see, now I can finally get kind of involved. Like I want to go see the show live one day, maybe even next year. I don't know, because I don't know. Like I don't know. I haven't done a big vacation in a while, so like.
It's awesome.
Yeah, LA might be fun. Or maybe if they, I don't know if they'll go back to New York. But yeah, LA would be good. I can do some live shows. Hopefully, it'll have some crossover with some other shows like going on or some events. But yeah, finally. But yeah, Tate Face, you and Tate Face, like you gotta tell this story. Like you gotta talk about you and Tate Face. Like that was the best thing last year. That's my favorite part of last season.
Oh my gosh. So right there is my painting of him. I painted that like the weeks leading up to the live show. And I said, well, what if I brought this to Hollywood with me? And what if like he's there and I met him? Because season 10 was the first year I started painting. I painted Mr. Piffles and I met Piff. So I'm like, I'm going to do this every year. I'm just going to paint like 4 or 5 of the contestants and see if I have a shot at meeting them. So I went to the semifinals last year. So every remaining contestant was there. And I met every remaining contestant with the exception of Stephen Brundage and Victor Key, which made me really sad because I wanted to meet them. But anyway, back to Tate Face.
1 second. I'm just going to, you can keep talking. I'm just going to go grab a thing. So that's why I'm disappearing, but I can still hear you. I got to plug this in, okay?
Okay.
So just keep talking. Just tell your story to everybody.
Okay. So like right there, I painted Tate Face. And I went to Hollywood. And I had painted others. I painted Callista Bevier, Sophie Rossi, and Amelie from the Clairvoyants. It was Tate Face's birthday. It was the day I actually arrived at the Dolby Theater Mall area. It was my first time there, so it was super exciting. And that whole day, I was just looking for contestants. I met the clairvoyants like within the first hour of being there, which was awesome. But I was still looking for Tate Face because I knew it was his birthday. And my dad kept saying, "Do you want to just go back to the hotel? Maybe we'll meet him tomorrow." I'm like, "No, today is his birthday. I want to give this to him today." So it was really funny how I met him because I was at like the Lowe's. It was like the Lowe's Hotel combination with the Dolby Outdoor Mall. And I was standing on this one balcony, and I was overlooking the balcony, just like looking around like the area. So I'm like, it's new, I want to check it out. And I saw Tate Face like down there. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I start running. I run down the stairs, and I run over to the area, and like he's gone because I saw him walking the other way. So I run like all around, and I run in front of the hotel, and then I run in the hotel. I'm like, maybe he went in the hotel. So I'm looking. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I really wanted to give this to him. And I looked around in the hotel, and I was crazy. I asked the person there, I'm like, did you see this guy? He was in like a long black coat. He had dark eyeliner. He had his hair like that. And the guy's like, no, I'm sorry. I didn't see him. I'm like, oh, okay. So I was really sad. Then I turned around, and he was right there in front of the hotel. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So me and my dad went out, and I went up to him. I'm like, hi, are you Tate Face? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's your birthday, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, happy birthday. I made this for you. And he was like, what? He was like, so shocked because, like, what are the odds some girl comes up to you, just has a painting readily there for you? And he's like, wow, oh my God. He was with his manager, and they were like, oh my gosh. I'm like, can you sign this for me? Like, autograph it? He's like, okay. So on the back, he wrote "Silence is Golden," and he wrote my name on it, and he autographed it, and he gave it to me. And now it's hanging right there. And yeah, I consider that one of the greatest days ever because that was the day I met not only Tate Face, but the clairvoyants, who are also super nice. They're both very nice people. And people might think, Tate Face, he doesn't wear the eyeliner except when he's on the show, right? Nope, he was wearing the eyeliner whenever I saw him. Even on his off days, he was wearing all black. He was wearing like black cardigan, black jeans, black everything. He was total goth boy. In the 90-degree Los Angeles heat, wearing like this, like the stripes like I have now. And yeah, that's what he looked like, and he's a very nice person. Yeah, that's my story.
Can you tell us more about the clairvoyants? Like, I want to know what they're like in real life. Like, that's someone who that's another one who I'm really sorry.
They're super, super nice. They were actually the first ones I met. So I had arrived in like Hollywood, Los Angeles, and I was in Burbank. And then the next day was when I actually went to like the Dolby Theater, and it was me and my dad. We were walking around. I was looking for the 4 that I had paintings for. And I had the one of the clairvoyants, and we walked by this one restaurant, and there were just like these tables like sitting around, and I saw the clairvoyants. I didn't really recognize him at first because Amelie was faced like away from me. Tommy, he had sunglasses on, and I kind of looked at him. I was in like kind of like maybe like 10 feet away, and I leaned over to my dad. I'm like, that guy kind of looks like Tommy from the clairvoyants. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what about the girl? He's like, I don't think that's them. I'm like, it might be. So then the girl, Amelie, she scoots out, and then she gets up and she goes walking in the opposite direction to go into the hotel. I'm like, what if this is them? My dad's like, okay, well then take your painting and run. So I run after her into the hotel, and I stop her. I'm like, are you Amelie from the clairvoyance? And she turns around, she takes off her sunglasses. She's like, yes. I'm like, yes. And then I took out my painting. I'm like, hey, this is for you. And she was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you can have it. I wanted her to sign it at first, but like she appreciated it so much. So I'm just like, yeah, you can have it. So she's like, oh, I wanna show Tommy. So me and her, we walked out back to the table, and I actually secretly maybe filmed this. And yeah, I can send it to you, but
Okay.
I will. I promise I will. I filmed meeting a bunch of the acts, like in secret.
I do that too, honestly. Like, I do that whenever I like meet people from YouTube or whatever. And I did it for part of the Dancing with the Stars thing I was at last year.
Cool.
I did it at Buffer Festival, and I'm probably gonna do that again this year. Like, I just film it, and it's just so funny. I have some funny stories too, and like it's just so weird because I always look so awkward. I'm like, maybe I should stop filming, but like, it's just funny.
Like, my dad filmed me meeting puddles. But anyway, back to the clairvoyants.
Okay, clairvoyants.
Yes, clairvoyants. They're super nice people. So back when it was me, my dad, Amelie, we walked up to Tommy, and Amelie's like, hi, this is Sophie. Look what I got. And she showed him. He's like, really? And he stood up. He's like, hi. He like introduced himself, and he shook my hand and my dad's hand. And he's like, can we get a picture of us all together? I'm like, oh, wow, they want a picture of me because of the painting. and we all took one. They put it on their Instagram. They put it on their Facebook. They put it on their Twitter. They follow me on Twitter. They liked it on Instagram. I'm friends with them on Facebook now, like their personal, Tommy and Emily's personal Facebook, so I'm friends with them.
Amazing.
I'm actually friends with Amber Lynn, too, because I'm obsessed.
Oh, yeah, her!
Oh, my God. I could talk about them.
Okay, can I say this? Okay.
Okay.
So, you sent me something about them a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. Are they, like, together, or are they, like, another sibling duo?
Ryan and Amber?
Yeah.
Oh, they've been engaged for, like, 16 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're friends with Amber.
On Facebook, yeah.
And after... Sorry, inside joke, people. We're not going to get into that, but just a little inside joke from what we were saying a couple days ago. Anyway, so yeah, you met them too?
Ryan and Amber? No, actually. The stupidest thing, I consider this the dumbest thing I've ever cried over. When Amber and I got voted off, I cried because it meant that I wasn't going to meet them in the semifinals, and I had a painting for them too, but I didn't end up taking it because, you know, they're not going to be there. What's the point? They're gone. So that was the only year that I didn't meet my favorite acts. Every year I meet my favorite act except for that year. Season 9, my favorite act was Mike Super. I met him. Season 10 was Piff. I met him. Season 11, I didn't. Season 12 this year, Mandy, Harvey, and Puddles. They were my favorites, and I met them both, and I had paintings for them both. And not to be dramatic or anything, but meeting Mandy was the best moment of my life. So
it's so funny. Like, you mentioned your Piff's your favorite, and I'm like, every time, like, because everyone says Piff's their favorite, I'm more and more surprised he didn't win now, because like everyone's, oh yeah, Piff was my favorite that season. I'm like,
you know,
when did he come in? Like, he wasn't top 3.
No, do you know the story behind why he didn't win?
No.
He didn't want to win. He literally planned it so that he wouldn't win because he didn't want to be affiliated with NBC for the rest of his life. He had a show at the Flamingo, and he said that it was his plan since day one to get on the show, make it to the finale, and lose, because I was like his biggest fan back then. I listened to all his podcasts and interviews, and he would always say that he didn't want to win because he had a show at the Flamingo, and he thinks it's funnier as a comedian to lose because he's like, what's so funny about winning? So
oh my gosh, though, but like that's like The Bachelor almost, because like everyone on The Bachelor, like, okay, the Bachelor franchise, they all go on, and then they try not to win. They try and get to the end but not win, because the people who get to the end not win are considered usually to be the next Bachelor or the Bachelorette. So like this is like the AGT equivalent of The Bachelor.
Yeah, but it's come back, so
yeah, like I don't know, but like yeah, that makes sense then. Like I was just like surprised because everyone seemed to like be obsessed with him. Like I remember him very well from season 10. Like he's probably the one who reads the best.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, like I feel like, I don't know, yeah, like I saw someone, like a lot of people on Twitter, like I see go to his shows, and I'm like, cool, yeah, like so many people are going to things. Like I'm glad he's successful. Like you were saying on Reddit, I think it was you, like there's the categories of AGT legends, and he's like forever legend. Like he's a legend of the show in general now.
Oh yeah, I didn't make that post on the comments on it.
Oh yeah, him and Grace. Yeah, him and Grace. Right?
Yeah, him and Grace, Tay-Face.
Tay-Face too, yeah. Terry Fader.
Yeah. Anybody who wins is a legend.
Kind of. I don't know. I don't even think Paul's really a legend. Like I wouldn't call Paul a legend. Darcy, if she wins, or honestly, like I'm not, like everyone says Darcy's gonna win. I'm not 100% sure she's gonna win, just because last year we also said that about Grace, and then it was like 1% between the top 3. So like you don't know, but like I feel like Darcy and Mandy.
I want Mandy to win.
I think Mandy is probably the second most likely, and I was gonna say Angelica, but like she's starting to like get kind of redundant. I feel like, because it's just all she does is like do the same songs.
Kind of, yeah.
Because like even like her story with her sister and whatever, like that didn't, like her new baby sister didn't become like as much of a thing as I thought it would. So like yeah, I feel like Darcy's winning and Mandy will be runner up, but like I feel like those are the two that could really like pull it out at this point.
Yeah, people want Preacher to win too.
I know everyone's saying he's gonna be top 3, so like maybe I'm convinced he is now. I don't know, because like everyone wants him in the top 3, and I'm like really happy, because like I feel like the 4 most likely to win would be, in order, Darcy, Mandy, Angelica. Okay, I should explain to people. If you're watching this, I'm sure you watch AGT, but just in case, Darcy's singing ventriloquist. Mandy is a singer-songwriter who's deaf, who she did hear and now she can't, but she still can write and sing, and it's beautiful. Angelica, who is a child singer, she sings, she can belt things out, and then Evie. And the only reason I had Evie appear is because her father just passed away. So,
Yeah,
and I
that's
think most of the audience isn't gonna know that. Like, we know now as fans. Like, I found out like hours after it happened. Most of the audience is not gonna know that till Tuesday night. So I feel like that might like surge things up for her. There's you and Mandy.
Yep. Yep. Mhm. She is like the nicest contestant I've ever met over the 4 years
feel
she's
like
been.
she has a good chance to win. Like I said, the thing is, like, so those are the four most likely to win, but I don't think they're going to be top four just because I don't see four female singers getting top four. Just like last night, like this week, because like I'm like at first I thought Ketchy might make top three, and I'm like, because there's no way she's gonna all three of them, or her, Angelica, and Mandy are gonna make top three. One of them's gonna have to be in the save or whatever. So like I feel like two or three of those girls is gonna be top in the top five.
Yeah. I
Like,
think
and
it's gonna be Angelica and Mandy.
I think
Probably
Darcy as well.
Darcy, definitely Darcy.
And then we'll have like I think I don't know who the other two are gonna be in the top five. Preacher, and then like
Light balance,
Light
maybe?
Balance, or I think because everyone's been going on about them surprisingly, I think Sarah and Hero could like pull a shock top five.
Maybe. I just think it's cool because they barely made it past the auditions and now they're in the finals, so
Yeah, that was like this is like why we needed the golden buzzer to go back to being maybe straight to judge cuts, because like you use it on an act that we know is gonna make the live shows anyway for the most part.
yeah.
Heidi's this year was kind of, you know,
Yeah.
Heidi's was weird. Angelina's really good though. Like she's really good on her YouTube. Like she's amazing. She can do like Broadway possibly someday. It's just like from what we saw on the show, like
She has a good voice, but she's nothing that stands out.
she
Like
did stand
Mandy,
on the
I
show.
get.
She's really good, and I've seen her theater bits. She's really good in those.
Mhm.
So yeah, the show she just I guess it like whatever the format, maybe she was nervous, didn't do her justice. But yeah, so yeah, Sarah and Hero made the finals. This is gonna be their whole underdog story because they're probably gonna remind everyone they almost didn't make it past auditions. Then Simon's gonna take a bunch of credit. Like I can like write this finale like the fanfic and it'll probably come.
Yeah. AGT fanfiction. Did you know
AGT.
that exists? It exists. AGT fanfiction exists.
About
There's like
what?
self tape face fanfiction. There's tape face fanfiction.
I've seen
I'm not.
actually a lot of shipping this past week actually,
Oh
but
yeah, people.
but not like with it. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised with the tape based stuff. I'm just talking about like I don't know. I'm surprised. Next thing you know, we're gonna see is Sarah, Mandy, Colin love triangle fanfiction.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
That's gonna be the next.
Colin. Yeah. But did you see Sarah's Instagram? There's like a picture of him like fake proposing to her at Dave and Buster's.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Oh my gosh! Like yeah, and then like he posts this picture with Mandy as like after he like gets eliminated, and then they're like, oh my gosh, they're so cute, what a couple, because she sung to him alone on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, Mandy's married though, so sorry.
She
Colin.
is.
Yeah, Mandy's married.
I thought she was engaged.
She's married because I saw in an interview with her, she said, I've never heard my husband's voice, so she's married.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome. Okay, so I guess it's gonna. Well, I guess. Okay, then really don't rate the fan fiction now. Like, I don't really like fan fiction, but real people. Tape base is kind of one thing because it's a character. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like we can give that a pass. I just feel really weird when it's real people.
Yeah. Like I have a friend who ships real people, and like
No, this happens a lot on Dancing with the Stars, so I'm used to that.
yeah, but
Like it's just getting really it's like it's annoying. Even if they really are like people who like don't want to like maybe they are cool but they don't want to be like don't want to talk about it, they want to keep it on the down low. People try and like get them to confess and it just sucks.
yeah.
But anyway, yay. Yeah, so the where's this AGT fanfiction? Where's the tape based ones? Like I'll read those. Like I might post some of those to the blog.
They're not even good. They're like written by like 12-year-olds and they're disgusting. And it's like Tape Face goes to your high school. I'm like, Tape Face is 38 for starters. And then like yeah, they're on like Wattpad and like AO3 and stuff like that.
Apparently, like some of the acts seem to have really creepy fans. Like Marikana on Reddit was mentioning like a group chat about like the little girls who are fans of him threatening other acts.
What? Is that like a thing that's happening?
I think I can go look up the comment. I'm gonna go look up the comment on Reddit. There's also like okay, like this is kind of woodwork in the past couple of weeks. On Tumblr and like especially Twitter now, like a bunch of people have made fan accounts for Colin and are like tweeting him constantly.
Oh, people are obsessed.
Is this creepy or not? Please reply. Why haven't you replied to us yet? And I'm like, leave the man alone. He like went on like he did like probably his jet lag. He just got home. He's like probably asleep. And like they're tweeting him and I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're like all following me now. So I like followed them back for giggles, but I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna indulge in your creepiness.
Yeah. I have a friend who he drew Colin, but he drew him as like a cat. It's actually a really good picture that he drew.
Tell him to send it to him. He loves the fan art. Like, I don't know, because like it's funny because I follow him on Twitter or whatever. Every time I open Twitter now, because you know how Twitter shows like, oh, this happened like hours ago. It's always him at the top. So I'm like, okay, I swear I'm not stalking you, but you were always showing up at the top of my Twitter, and like I'm seeing all the fan fiction.
If you're like a tall, skinny emo man who wears eyeliner, you're gonna have a big fan base like Colin and Tate Face.
I love that interview of them together. They're just like, I think they were like doing performances together too at one point, like at the Fringe Festival. Like, oh my gosh, like I love them.
I have a friend who ships them and has drawn
I was
like.
about to say that. Like, where's their slash fan fiction? I bet you Tate Face and Puddles probably too.
Tate Face and Puddles.
Because like everyone's like, oh, Puddles is gonna be Tate Face this season. And then that didn't happen. Like, we didn't even get a Tate Face this season. I mean, that's probably good because no one can live up to Tate Face. I really wanted Circus Alphon to be in the live
they had
show.
No chance. Nobody liked them. None of the judges did, at least.
I know, but then, well, actually, they all liked them except for Simon, and then suddenly they didn't send them through. Like, I remember that episode. I was watching that Judge Cuts. I'm like, okay, so who's making it based on this edit? And I'm like, they're making it, and then they didn't make it, and I was like, okay.
They showed their full performance. They weren't montaged. So
no.
Like, maybe
Judge Cuts. Okay, I wrote this on the blog already. Judge Cuts is an annoying format. It like, why do we need it? Like, is it so we can get celebrities and do more golden buzzers to go viral? Is that the reason? Because like it's not. It's really, really unfair. And I'm like, I know when we get to live shows, we have to split up the acts. We can't have everyone go against everyone at the same time. But like for stuff like deciding who's gonna be in the live shows, I feel like they should do it by act type or just do everyone together.
Back in like season 9 and 8, the way they used to do it then was Vegas week. That was the best one.
That was good. Like, that didn't last as long either, right? Because last year I could handle Judge Cuts because it was Olympics and they did Tuesday, Wednesday, 1 week, Tuesday, Wednesday, other week. It was done. Like, I don't want to sit for 4 weeks Judge Cuts. Even 6 weeks of auditions is kind of starts. After, like, week 4, I'm like, okay, can we move on now?
Yeah.
Like, and this is the one show where I can tolerate the audition round. Like, so you think you can dance and whatever? Like, that was going on this summer. I'm like, okay, call me when the live shows start. Like, I'm not interested in this. Like, I'm not. Like, this isn't exciting. Like, 3 weeks of this? No. I don't know. And I want more live shows next. Like, ideally, we would have top 48 again. We would have 4 quarterfinals. And we would take 6 from each of those. And then we would have 2 semis of 12. And then we would have either a final 12 or, like, 12 down to, like, 6 or something for the finals.
I like top 10. I like top 10 format for that.
I like top 10. I guess we could, like, so we go from, like, we could cut 7 and do 5 from the semis to the finals. Yeah. So that'd be, like, 7 or 8 live shows. I feel like that'd be good.
You know what else is really cool?
What?
When I went during season 9, the show that I saw live, Matt Franco was in it, and he ended up winning. The show I saw in season 10, Paul Zerden was in it, and he ended up winning. The show I saw in season 11, Grace was in it, she ended up winning. The show I saw this year, Darcy and Preacher are in it. So if they're not winning, I'm gonna start thinking, every show I go to is winning. That's crazy.
You were in like so like I should have probably okay. So like who else did you meet like this? Who did you meet this year? We haven't talked about this year much. We talked about you and Mandy, I think, and we talked about you and Puddles.
It's kind of blurry, but that is my wall of contestants that I have met. Like, I'm gonna bring it over. I'll show you guys this wall that I've made.
Okay.
So, that is my wall of contestants that I've met.
Oh, that's so many. I'll shut up so you can see. Keep talking and I'll show you.
Yeah. Basically, every year I just meet them. I get the pictures developed and I put them on that wall. And I have yet to get them from this year, but I've met quite a bit.
Who'd you meet this year? Like, who was it like the most fun this year?
To meet?
Yeah.
I mean, Mandy was my favorite one to meet. Despite her not being able to hear me, her interpreter was with her, so we did have a good conversation. And she's very nice, and she talked to me too, so she was probably the best encounter I've had with a contestant this season, and probably ever. I mean, with the exception of Piff, because meeting him was like surreal, and he was the first one I gave a painting to, and that was wild. So, I mean, I like meeting Puddles too. He's a great character, though. He was silent.
I know you
I mean,
said, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I've seen Puddles' friend on YouTube talking about him, but like, he wasn't out of character for this. That was cool. Like, so
Puddles was in my full costume.
He just like walked around like that for days.
I mean, when I saw him, he wasn't in like the Dolby Mall area. He came like directly from this elevator in the basement up right to the theater door. He didn't like want to be out and sing, but I saw him. But I had something to give to him, so it was worth it. He didn't talk, but he was very nice. Like he's very tall.
Yeah.
6'8". 6'8". I'm 5'0". So he's 20 inches taller than me, but he gave me a hug and it was really cool. And he posted a picture of me, him, and my dad on Instagram. So yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I feel bad for Puddles because like I know like his thing is he's sad, but like he's actually sad now because
yeah, he got tried.
Like on the Wednesday episode, he was like they showed his buzzing thing, like Simon buzzing him. He was like, "Ouch!" on Twitter. He just I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, that was sad.
I wanted him to be the wild card, cause like
I don't
for the semis. Pardon?
I don't think they would have picked him as the wild card.
I know, but like, yeah, they went against Simon last year with Passing Zone, so they could go against him with this. Also because like I also kind of wanted him to be wild card because he would split the singing vote even more, and we would possibly have different people. No, it'd probably be the same because even if they're in the Duncan safe, still they'd probably get it. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. He was a fan favorite there, definitely.
He was like the online favorite. Like he's gonna be remembered, I feel like, or because he'll like go on and do more things, like especially in the internet crowd, because he's already done
he's
stuff.
Huge. He was big before with Postmodern Jukebox.
Yeah. So yeah, he was like a big deal. So like, I feel like he's gonna be fine. Like I feel like I don't know. There's some of the acts this season. I feel like we're gonna like. I feel like some of them are okay, even though like some of the ones that aren't in the finals, like Puddles is gonna be fine, Bella's gonna be fine. Like I feel like it's okay. I feel like most of the ones in the finals this season, apart from maybe the dance groups, are acts that are like getting off the ground a bit, and like kind of Preacher is kind of like has established stuff, but like I think it's gonna be really good for Darcy and
Definitely.
Mandy. Although Mandy has a bunch of albums too.
Yeah.
Like a bunch.
She does, and I have a bunch of her songs because I love her, and this show definitely will help her. I mean, she was releasing music before, but like not a lot of people knew her name, but now a lot of people do. Like I knew who she was before AGT, and everyone else knows her name, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like those are the ones that are kind of really gonna help this year. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this group for the finale? We have 10 acts left. Yeah. I'm really sad this is the last week, actually, even though the season's been kind of meh, because it's been entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the season just started like a few weeks ago. It flew by.
Like the live shows flew by. Like the judge cuts went on forever for me this season. I'm like, okay, can we stop this already? Like, can we just tell us who's in the live shows? Like, I don't really care about all this. Like, we can get back to that in a second because I feel like some of the things leading up to the finale have been kind of unfair. But yeah, so like, what do you think of this group we have? We have 10 people left. We have Preacher Lawson, Darcy Lynn Farmer, Mandy Harvey, Evie Claire, Chase Goring, Light Balance, Diablo, Sarah and Hero, Angelica Hale, and
Catchy.
Catchy.
Yep.
The fact that I didn't remember Catchy might not be a good sign for her.
Yeah, I mean, I think any act that was in Duncan's save 3 doesn't really have a chance of being in top.
Anyone who was a Duncan save in the semis, I guess, because like quarterfinals are still room, because like Sal was Duncan save, he made it. Someone was once the judges save in the quarters and made top 2. So like I feel like but the semis, like by the semis, everyone's kind of like locked in who they like. Like we've seen 2 live performances plus a bunch of other stuff from them. Like we know we got all the live show numbers out. So the semis is really when it kind of solidifies. So I think anyone who's been in the Duncan save, is probably not going to make top 5.
Yeah, but I mean, my prediction for top 5 is Angelica, Mandy, Darcy, Preacher, and Light Balance.
I think so too.
It's a good top 5.
I guess there's an outside chance of like, because there's an outside chance of Evie or maybe Sarah and Hero. I don't think Chase is gonna make it at this point, even though I thought his fan base was a lot bigger because Evie managed to beat him in a Duncan save. Ketchy, yeah. I feel like, because even like I was telling you on Monday or Tuesday, whatever, everyone forgot about her. It felt like after the show, and I'm like, is she even gonna make the Duncan save now? Because like I feel like everyone just forgot she performed because no one was talking about her. And yeah, I think that's everybody. Oh, and Diablo was judge's choice, so yeah. Although West Coast missed like half of Diablo's performance, so maybe if anyone from like Duncan Save or whatever might make top 5, it might be them.
Maybe.
No, that'll be Evie. But like it might be them. They'll be like my second guess.
I don't know. I like Diablo, but I don't know if they're gonna be in top 5.
I don't really see it, but like that's probably like if my first guess is someone from Duncan Save this last episode's make top 5. It's Evie. Second choice would be Diablo. I don't know. I feel like they're not, but like I feel like they have a better chance than like Ketchy.
I don't think Ketchy's
gonna she beat him in Duncan Save because like Ketchy's gonna fade in the background next week because there's 3 other female singing acts and like she may have had the mother of all sob stories like her and Mandy, but now Evie's gonna overtake that. So like she's really gonna have to rely on like Mandy's deafness is gonna like look like pale in comparison to Evie. I feel like next week. So Mandy's just gonna have to be good on her, and which I trust her to do. Ketchy is good. She's just like not memorable in this group. I don't think.
Yeah, not anymore.
I don't think Chase is either. Because he's not the only singer-songwriter in this group. I actually think it's really nice because apparently this show used to not be really good on original songs, and now they're like embracing it.
Grace opened the door for that. I mean, Mandy does originals, Johnny Manuel did an original, Chase did an original, and I feel like she kind of let that happen. He made it more acceptable.
Yeah, so I'm glad that's a thing now because at least it's like, even if it's like, I mean, it's not that unique, but it's like more original on the show. Like you're doing your own talent. Like you're not a karaoke singer.
Yeah, it's like this part of singing that actually has talent in it is the original.
Yeah.
Songwriting is another talent.
So okay. So I'm guessing Darcy's winning this week. I also think she's getting Pimp Spot again, which is the last spot of the night. Angelica just had it last week, so she's not getting it again. I think Mandy has a shot at it if Darcy doesn't, but I think they deliberately didn't give it to Darcy in the semis, so it'd be more fair for her to get it again in the finals.
What if Evie gets it?
Yeah, that's my other one I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know if they, well, I mean, they ended the night on Brandon Rogers after he died, so like they could do that with Evie. And
possibly.
If Evie gets Pimp Spot, I still don't think she'll win, but I think she will make top 5.
Most likely.
If she gets Pimp Spot, she'll make top 5. Here's how I'm predicting running order next week. Angelica goes first. Then one of the dance group, no, then maybe Sarah and Hero. Then Ketchy. Then a dance group. Then who? Chase. I don't know. Then Preacher. Then Light Ballet. Yeah, like I'll have my whole list out, but like I feel like the running order is kind of gonna go pattern between singers and non-singers. Like singer and then a non-singer, singer, and then Darcy will be one of the non-singers, so she'll go last.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's how it's gonna go. I think
I
Mandy might get second last. Pardon?
Yeah. I think Evie actually might have a chance going last this time.
I think so too. Then if Evie goes last and we're alternating between singers and non-singers, I'm guessing maybe like Light Balance or Diablo opens the show.
Yeah, probably. Because
we had the one that dance groups make open the show, so we can have that again.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really tired. I'm looking forward to this finale. I think I actually like this one better than last year's. I think overall, even though I like last season better.
Same.
I just I think there was like six out of 10 acts I wanted, and then last year had 5, so improvement. I don't know. What did you think of just okay, so we had another question. Okay. So the next question was okay, so we already talked about that. Okay. When you look back on this season, what stands out to you the most? That comes from Hannah.
What stands what acts?
What's gonna stand out to you? When you think, okay, how about we start with this? Go from season 9. You can, and then I'll go from when I really started paying attention, which I think mostly was last year. And we can what are the things that stood out to you the most? I guess the standout most, what defined the season, which I think is a pretty good question.
This season, I think a lot of sad stuff happened this season. I mean, we had a lot of people with sad things happen to them while the show was airing, like Brandon Rogers and Evie Claire. And we had a lot of actually legit sad stories this year, like Ketchy and Mandy Harvey. So
yeah, it's just, and then I don't know, it just had kind of more of a sad feel, and then I feel sadness, and then train wreck.
Yeah.
Live show 2. Live show 2.
Mhm.
What was
yeah.
funny. I don't know. Also apparently, according to some people, there was debate whether the YouTube show from a few seasons ago where they had acts from YouTube on, or Judge Cuts 2 season 12. What was the worst episode?
I think the YouTube show, because
YouTube show's probably worse. I call Judge Cuts 2 Judge Cuts 2 people I actually wanted going through, because I actually checked recently and there were 2 acts I liked. But yeah, I don't know, the YouTube show was I gotta watch that. I know someone linked it. Was kind of train wrecky. Everyone just calling Judge Cuts 2 the worst episode, and they're still going on about it. So I don't know. Let's see if we top that next season. Hopefully
we just
not.
need full flops. That'll be funny.
Just like that week was. Yeah, this is why Judge Cuts is unfair, because 1 and 2, well, actually 1 kind of was meh, but they picked most of the good people, so I can't really complain with who they picked that episode. 2 was all the forgettable people plus 2 good people. I have to check who that was, but I'm okay, yeah, there's 2 acts I like here, and then everyone else is whatever. 3 and 4 had all the good acts pretty much, and they had to get rid of a lot of the good acts, and even then I didn't agree with some of the decisions. So I feel Judge Cuts needs to maybe be fixed.
Yeah, I like Vegas Week better when they categorize it.
Vegas Week, we got it over with faster. I'm let's go to live shows.
2 days.
What do you remember? What do you remember now? It's been a year from season 11.
Mm-hmm.
What sticks out in your mind from season 11? Because I thought it was a cool question. Because everyone's talking about who we're gonna remember in other years. So
season 11.
Now.
I mean, she wasn't my favorite, but Grace's audition blew up. She's very successful now. She's going on tour. She's putting out an album. She's selling merchandise. She was a huge part of season 11.
Yeah, I feel
part, so
her audition is gonna her audition's one of the most memorable things I think from this show. I also remember Tape Face really well last season. I remember the water fight.
Oh yeah,
that's what I remember.
During the semifinals when they were judging him.
Was that the one you were at? You were at for the water fight?
Yeah.
Did you get wet?
No, I was on the opposite side of when that happened.
Okay, good. I would have been mad if we're halfway through the show, I'm just soaking wet. I'm
yeah.
Yeah. I remember the
water. And right in the middle of judging him, Mel B's like, you know what? I'm not going to even judge him. I'm going to throw water at Simon. And Tateface tweeted after that. He was like, the judges were a lot like Tateface tonight. They didn't have much to say. So he kind of threw some shade at them. That was funny.
What do you remember from season 10? Like, what sticks out? Because that was a little further back.
Piff, of course.
I just remember Piff. Like, that's what I think of in season 10. Like, I remember Piff. And I remember that creepy baby puppet from Paul. I hated that. Like, that's what I remember. Oh, the dig puppet. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I walked downstairs to that one day, like when my family was watching. I'm like, what is this?
Drew Lynch, though. I met him.
I watched his audition recently.
I saw his audition live.
You did?
Yeah, I actually went to a live audition taping back in season 10, and
was that the one you went? Was that the show you went to?
Yeah, it was. Ira was there backstage. Drew Lynch was there. Who else was there? The guy who threw himself on the thumbtacks, he was there.
You said Paul was at your live show, right?
He was on my live show. He wasn't at the audition.
You went to two, okay.
Mhm. I went to a judge
and
a live show.
Yeah, that was really good. You actually got to see the whole Drew Lynch thing like play out. Like that's so cool because like I was watching that the other day and I'm like, wow, that's really neat.
They cut out a lot from their audition.
Season 9.
Season 9, that was the first live show I ever went to. The first contestant I ever met was Sons of Serendip. They were the first I've ever met. They were super nice. It was that band of those 4 guys that went to Boston University, I think. And I really liked them. And it was at Radio City. I love New York. Oh, it was my favorite place.
It was Radio City till last season, right?
Radio City was 8, 9, and 10.
So yeah, season 11 was the first at the Dolby. Okay.
Yeah. I was so sad when I found out they were leaving. I'm like, oh, well, this is bad. But then I had an awesome time in LA, so it was worth it.
Yeah, the LA, you like your hotel and everything. Like I'm seeing pictures. It looks so cool.
It's the same contestant. It's the same hotels the contestants stay at. So.
Oh man.
I was on the elevator with Andy Harvey, Pompeo Dogs, and Almost Mellow Knock.
Wow.
Yep.
Can I actually, now that you mentioned you've been to an auditions taping, can you talk about what we see versus what we don't see? Because like the live shows we see it all, but like with the auditions, like you said, there's stuff that gets cut out. Like, what is it like to be there live for that?
Like the pre-interviews, like for example, the guy who threw himself on the thumbtacks, he told like his story. He's like, I edit horror films, I do this is my name and all that stuff. They cut out all this stuff. I find that if an act brings up the fact that they have like a career in this, they cut that out because they want America to make it think like, oh, they're just nobodies coming out of their basement to do this. So if the act says, oh, we do all these festivals, we do here, we had a TV show, they cut that out. And I know if they tell their full story, they cut a lot of it out.
I noticed that they started like saying yes. Sorry. They're saying like, oh yeah, this is like these people, we've seen these people before for some acts, but not others. Like they said, Billy and Emily had done Britain's Got Talent, but they didn't say that. They didn't say anything about Laura winning Romania's last year.
They wouldn't bring that up.
No, but like they didn't mention she was on it. Like, oh my god, like the Laura and Brian things last season made me really mad. Like Laura's was like her whole thing leading up to the Golden Buzzer. Like she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so shy, I'm so scared. And then I find out this, and I'm like, okay, that's a ripoff. Like I was like really like she was like one of my main targets last season. And then Brian was my other one because like he's actually like I don't know. It's mostly because like if you're a singer and if you're like a variety act and you're coming on the show, one thing, okay, that's okay. Like if you have like kind of a career, you know, there's not a lot of opportunities, so like yeah, that's fine. If you're a singer and you're coming on here and you have a career, like bye. Like like it's bad enough we have like the amateur karaoke people. We don't need. Oh my gosh, Brian made me so mad. Like he was like, oh my gosh, like I've never done anything before. Like they're actually playing up the fact he hadn't done anything before. Like if they don't mention it, like if someone's playing a character like Puddles and they don't mention anything about him, it's like okay, fine. If it's like if it's like Brian or whatever, and they're saying all this crap, bye.
Yeah, we don't need professionals who have like careers on AGT.
I remember being so scared he might like overtake Grace. Like I didn't want him to win, and it's not like I would, like was really pulling for Grace to win. I was just pulling for him not to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, he got, and then he gets fourth because I thought he was getting second for sure. I thought those were the top.
He got mad. He was bitter on Twitter.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
He was so salty.
And he got beat by 2 variety acts.
Mm-hmm.
2 magic acts.
2 Yep.
It's gonna feel so empty with no magic next week.
Yeah, that's so sad. This is like the first one. The first finale since season 7 without magic, I think.
I was like looking, like that's so sad. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna be so sad. It's like, it's gonna feel like it's missing something.
Yeah, like, magic is like big variety.
I know. Get that. They didn't even put through many magicians last year. I think last year in the semis alone, we had 5.
Yeah.
We had John, we had Clairvoyance, we had Caden, we had
Lake Voigt,
and we had Steven.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then like suddenly it's like, okay, well, I don't know if Damien counts as magic, but like both the other 2 made the semis, so like it was cool. And like
they're both Duncan
both
save.
went in the same spot, and they're running overnight. They both got in Duncan save, and they both lost the judge's choice. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch Penn and Teller Fool Us, but I love that show. But Eric Jones was on that show, and he fooled Penn and Teller. So
I know Steven did too.
Mm-hmm.
I know Blake was on and he didn't.
Piff was on and he didn't.
Piff was on and he didn't. And I've heard Colin perform for Penn and Teller. I don't know if he was on that show specifically.
He was, but he didn't fool them.
Haha.
He was on Britain's Got Talent too, and he did something really disgusting.
Oh, so. He did? What did he do?
I don't want to say what he did. I'll send you a link, but it's nasty.
Send it.
I will.
I don't know, like, yeah, like even I figured out half of what Colin did this season, so like, yeah, and we figured out Eric too. I pretty much figured out all of what Eric did, so like,
yeah. So I mean, like, I don't like when people on the Reddit, like, 0.2 seconds after the magic act performs, Eric Jones debunked, Colin Cloud debunked, here's how they did it. No, have some respect.
All of YouTube was like, the clairvoyance exposed.
Clairvoyance revealed. Like, no.
Like, I think my thing was, because I was like, I really wasn't like that invested in Eric. Like, even during his, like, actually during the quarterfinals, like, I was rooting for him and everything. During that Duncan safe, I wanted Evie gone mostly, but I really wanted Masqueraders through. So I was upset when Eric got through for Masqueraders. And then like in the semis, like I didn't care. Like I guess I would have picked him out of those 3 in the Duncan save. Like I would prefer like Billy and Emily.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was working that day, so like I didn't get to vote in Duncan save. But like I probably would have picked him just because like I don't know. Like I wouldn't have picked Evie. So like yeah, but I was like kind of yeah whatever. And then like I think the difference because like. With both Eric and Colin, I can kind of figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
When Colin does his forensic stuff, I think that's kind of what it puts it with her. Because, like, I was rewatching some of the stuff, like, his very first audition. Like, I know how he, like, did the magic part.
Yeah.
But, like, part of it was being able to tell which hand there was something in.
Wasn't that, like, magic?
That was, like, the actual deduction.
Yeah.
And I've been told he does more of that in the Illusionist show. So, like, I'm excited to see that. Like, that's what I'm excited about from him.
In New
York.
York.
The magic and, like, yeah, whatever. Like, I was, like, I really liked his performance. Like, even though we figured it out. Like, I really liked it in the semifinals just because he went, like, undercover with, like, the all-out stuff. Like, I love
that in the semi. It's the whole video. I thought that was cool.
That was cool. Like, that's like a performer, right? Like, that's the difference between him and Eric for me as well. That's the other difference. Like, yeah, so, like, that's what kind of, like, that's why I was kind of like being a hardcore stan of his and then being like, yeah, whatever to Eric. Because like, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to, I was really hoping to get to the final and do some forensic stuff. And I'm like, please, everybody, like, my whole thing on the power rankings I did for this. Okay, I gotta be a little quieter now. My whole thing on the power rankings I did for him was like, okay, please, can he get through? Like, we need magic, please. Like, yeah, like he's gonna be the save. Just please put him through, please. And it was like kind of like I'm reading it back, and I was like, okay, wow, that was pathetic. But yeah, like I wanted magic in the final, but like I mean, we have acts that we haven't seen in a while, so it's mixed.
I mean, like they debunked Eric because the cards were different, and even I could tell the cards were different. They debunked Colin because he used plants, which was so obvious. But I don't know. I mean,
he used the sticker for the second one.
Yeah, and then the AGT had to delete the video and then edit it because they had a camera reveal of what he did.
I think Colin should have done more forensic stuff in the live shows than magic, because like I feel like that would have impressed people. Because like apparently he'll like do stuff like he'll talk to people. What do you think he is? Like he gets it wrong sometimes. He gets kind of off, but like that makes it more like he gets it really close most of the time, and like that's what makes it real. That's what's so exciting. Like I wanted to see more of that. Like I feel like I don't know. I was really sad, but like it's Diablo, and like they had to pick Diablo, and I understand that. It's more I'm mad at Ketchy, but I'm not mad at Ketchy. I'm mad at the people for voting for Ketchy.
Yeah, it's not her fault, but
it's not her fault. Like I'm not gonna sit here and yell at Ketchy. Like I'm not gonna send Ketchy hate mail. Like people send the acts hate mail for making it over their favorites. It's like
it's not their fault.
The judges go annoy the judges. Go annoy for like playing up the singers. Go annoy the voters. It's not the act's fault. They're here. They're chill each other. Like I think it was Colin saying today, like, yeah, I don't care about the competition. I just want to like be here and perform with these people. Like I think that's how most of them feel.
Yeah, I mean, like if I was an act, I wouldn't care if I won or not. Like if I got that to perform there with those people, it'd be so much fun, and I'd like it. Like I don't need to win.
Yeah, like everyone's like, yeah, this is just so fun. Like they did like Merrick and Evie were doing an escape room.
Oh, really? Oh, I saw that there. There was an escape room at the Dolby Mall. It just got put in this year. It wasn't there last year, but it's there now.
They were doing an escape room, and they were just like hanging out. Like I've seen so much of that. Like it looks so like it looks just.
But they're friends. It's pure and sweet.
Yeah, and then like everyone, like I think on Reddit someone posted this, Darcy and Angelica congratulate each other on a good job, and it's like we're gonna freak out more than they do depending on who wins.
When I met Angelica, she was with Darcy, and they're really good friends actually, Darcy and Angelica.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was so nice how Christian like came over and hugged her and gave her a little kiss when she made.
Yeah, Christian. When I met him, he's apparently not very nice because. Oh no, I can spill the tea on Christian because here it comes. When I was right after I met Puddles and posted that Instagram picture with my dad, I went down the elevator, and as I was walking by, I felt I had a celebrity moment. Someone recognized me from his Instagram picture. They're like, "Are you the girl who's in Puddles' Instagram picture?" I'm like, "Why, yes, I'm famous now." He's like, "Is Puddles still here?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure he is." And then this guy and I got talking, and basically, he's like, "Oh yeah, I met Kristen. It was on the escalator." I'm like, "Yo, can we take a selfie?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, "Oh, I need to go to the Dolby Theater and rehearse." He's like, "But we're on the elevator. Why can't we just take one?" He's like, "No, I can't." And he didn't even go into the Dolby Theater. He went somewhere else. So apparently Christian's like not very nice.
I heard, yeah, and you said Yoli was a bitch too.
So Yoli was kind of, yeah. I told her like,
now I'm even more mad about Just Jerk.
What?
Now I'm even more mad about Just Jerk.
Oh yeah, Just Jerk.
Just Jerk was the real jerk.
Just Jerk. I saw them when I went to the pool. They were like over in the corner, like rehearsing, like all the time. And when I actually saw them perform live, I recognized the moves, and it was really cool. And from my hotel room, I had a view over the mall area in the rooftop kind of pool on the 5th floor. And I was looking down every night, and I could just see them performing by the pool. I had a nice view of their little practices, and they did so good, but they lost some average singer.
So, I know, that was so frustrating. Like, I feel like they should have, I don't know if they did, they should have tried it for World of Dance. I feel like, I don't know if they did, but if they didn't, they definitely should have tried it, because that was more like, that, they would have been so much more appreciated over there. Like, I feel like someone like I said, Diablo and Light Balance probably not, but like, those guys, like, they're just like, tight on the money, they're just like straight up dancing. I feel like that's so much more appreciated on like actual dance shows than AGT.
Yeah.
Any more tea on anybody?
Wait, what?
Any more tea on anybody?
Well, this is kind of last year, but Edgar, they're not very nice. Basically,
Oh.
I met, hold on one second. Okay, so basically, I met Edgar, and they were like kind of like in a rush, so we didn't really get to get like a picture together. The next day, I met the mom from Edgar, and I'm like, "Hey, can we take a selfie together?" She's like, "I met you yesterday." I'm like, she's like, "Remember Edgar?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah," and then she walked away. I'm like, "We didn't get a selfie yesterday." So yeah, she was kind of cocky about it. So yeah,
I
she's
don't know.
not
I
very nice.
really don't like those acts that think they're suddenly amazing.
I think they're like big celebrities now because once they get off of AGT, 95% of them aren't remembered. Unless if they do something like really big, like Piff, like Grace, like Take Face, like
I feel
acts
like
like
if they do like if they like a lot of the variety acts get deals with Vegas or whatever, or like Clairvoyants went on to do Illusionists on Broadway for at least a bit, so like they got like
yeah.
careers. So like good for them. So like
One act, again, I love them and we'll talk about them for hours on end. Ryan Stock and Amber Lynn. They got a show in Hooters Casino in Las Vegas, like literally a week after they screwed up their performance. And they got like so much publicity for that for like a week, and then they went back to nobody knowing them or liking them because they weren't popular before. They were for a week, but then no more. They weren't even popular enough to get like Duncan saves. So basically, they went to Hooters then, and they were there. I went to Las Vegas actually in April with the intentions of seeing them. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went into Hooters. This is like one of the top 5 most saddest moments of my life. I went to the box office. I'm like, can I get tickets to see Ryan and Amber's show? Or are they still here? Because I might come back in August. And like, oh, Ryan and Amber, they didn't sign on their contract to stay. They're gone. So I'm like, oh, I'm sad now. But then I talked to the dude at the box office. I'm like, listen, I'm like their biggest fan. I made art for them, and I showed him the paintings. He's like, wow, Amber really likes art. I'll tell her about you. I'm like, oh my gosh. So Amber, we're friends on Facebook. She follows me on Instagram. She liked a bunch of my Facebook albums of Vegas and AGT. When I posted that I met Puddle's Pity Party, she liked that on Instagram. She's liked like 5 or 6 of my Instagram photos. So it's really cool that I have like an interaction with this act that I stand so hard. So yeah. And
yeah,
then
it's so interesting to see who gets a lot of attention though, because like a lot of them, like even the ones who like are gone before the finals, sometimes like get more famous than the finalists. Um, Brenly from last season
on the
got
voice.
judge cuts,
Mhm.
was a semi-finalist on The Voice.
Yeah, that's so weird how one show could be like, oh, we love you, and the other one could be like, we don't. And then
And
there are some that don't do good on The Voice and then do good on AGT.
yeah, and then Skylar, the rapper, is now
Mhm.
on Raven's Home. She's a Disney Channel regular.
Lori Mae Hernandez is on Bizarre Vark.
Oh yeah, she is. I heard about that.
Mm-hmm. When I ran into her again this year, she's like, oh, and I'm doing Disney now. I'm like, oh, cool. So, yeah. I mean, like, it's not even like in their talent thing. They just get like Disney jobs. Like, Skylar.
But I feel like getting recognized is gonna get you, like, can get some people places. Like, if they're looking for something and you see Got Talent, like, so many people from there, like, there's all different niches they fill. Like, we have.
Yeah.
What's my other food? I don't know.
Like, Lori had good stage personality. So, she had a good, like,
I know,
humor.
like, I was, like, reading the threads from last, like, after, like, during Judge Cuts, they're like, oh, Mirror Image is the worst actor. They're like the Lori Mae of this year. And I'm like, wait.
People,
And
they
then,
flipped on Mirror Image.
like,
Mirror Image.
yeah, I had no idea Lori was so hated until I found out, like, they were comparing Mirror Image to her. And I'm like, wait.
Oh, they hated her last year. They
I
hated
know.
her.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, she's a nice girl though. Like last year, every time I ran into her, she talked to me. She remembered my name. Her family would wave to me, and she was super sweet. We took a lot of selfies together. We talked for like 10 minutes. Her and her family are very kind. I don't know. People just don't like her act. They say it's cringy, but she's a nice person.
Yeah, like she seems like I have a feeling like I don't know. She could like if she like keeps up like she does her thing, like she could like get in the door more. Like I know she's doing like a thing with Piff. Like she I think like whoever like I feel like whoever makes connections on this show like will go far and do things because I still see Sophie popping up places.
Yeah.
She made connections with a lot of the other variety acts. Like she does stuff with Steven sometimes. Um, I feel like so many people love like Mandy and Merrick.
Yeah.
Like so many like other acts even love them. Like they're getting more attention. Like they'll go on. Like I feel like even acts with each other. Like you, that's like this is like networking. This show.
Yeah, I mean, acts who are kind and interact with fans get a lot of love. Like Steven was super active with fans, and
Oh yeah, wasn't Steven a redditor?
yeah, Steven was. So was Merrick.
Merrick was a redditor too. Aw.
Yeah.
Merrick's doing an AMA.
Yeah, he is. I'm excited.
Doing an AMA.
If one of the contestants that I made a painting for ever did an AMA, I'd be like, "Yo, so here's a link to this. Do you remember this by any chance?" So, I
I
mean,
feel like all the ones who are more fun on social media are good too. Like Mandy's really nice on social media.
yeah, she is. She commented on my pictures
Mandy
of my.
answered my curious cat question.
What?
Okay, do you know what curious cat is?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so like I posted a thing on Curious Cat. They're like, "What do you have?" Like they asked me something about Mandy because they asked me stuff about all these different shows. So I'm like, they asked me about Mandy, and so I like added her in my answer, and she like replied to it.
Aw, that's cute.
And then Colin found mine on Tuesday night about him, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, you showed
that
me
was
that.
all okay. Like I showed you that one. Okay, so like all Tuesday night, I'm like, okay, guys, like he's one of the acts I really wanted through. So like I was telling people to vote for him and everything. And then like, of course, like I don't tag them in anything a lot of the time. Like I'm not trying to like get attention from people. Like that's not my goal. I'm trying to like support the acts or whatever. And then like so he doesn't say anything. Like that's good. That's fine. Like that's I'm good. And then like suddenly the one he sees, because like everyone's asking like, who is your favorite act? Like who did the best last night? Like they were like, I think the question was like, who are the best performers of tonight's show? And I'm like, Light Balance and Diablo. And then I wanted to like shout out Colin because like I wanted him to get votes too. So like Colin was the most improved, and he's like, oh, I'll take it. I'm like, okay, like I didn't mean it like that. Like no, I've been like, no,
I
I
know.
mean more than that.
Mandy Harvey, she commented on, I posted that on Instagram of us together, and she commented, "You are the best. I have it in my room. Thank you so much. I'm blown away."
Mandy is just so nice to everyone. She's always like, spread kindness. I mean, like,
Yeah, she's so pure. And
yeah.
even like Puddles, I posted that's me, Puddles, and my dad all together. He commented on that. "I love you guys. You're a great artist." Yeah. He posted it on his too, his own Instagram.
Puddle seems like another one who's like that. I don't know, like the ones who do social media, like you're building an audience on this show. That's what you're doing, like especially because the Vegas show is like 2 days now. Like your goal is to like build an audience, maybe get $1 million. Like that's your goal. So like doing the social media stuff, I think really helps.
Definitely. And that's what Steven did, and it really helped him.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I still follow him. He does a lot. He does like a lot of events for like private events for like celebrities. So he's like the
Yeah.
magician to the stars. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
he's like at the Avengers. One of the
That's
Avengers.
really cool.
Like oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
It's like really good. So like I'm glad I'm glad so many people on the show like go on to do things. Like I'm really happy for Tape Face.
Yeah. He had a show at the Flamingo for a bit, but now
Like I'm thrilled for Tape Face. Like I'm seeing Tape Face next month, and like
it's so
that's gonna be
cool.
so exciting. We made sure we weren't too close to the stage because my family does not like getting picked for things. So
Mm.
I'd probably be
I
the
don't
one
think
sent up.
or something, but
I want
it's
to get
fun.
picked for some things. Like I don't want to get picked for this. Like even if we go to Illusionist as well, I'm like we're not sitting at the front. Like I don't want my hand getting licked. I don't need any of that going on in my life. Yeah, that's like that was like one of the coolest things he did. But like I don't need that happening to me. Thank you. That's
He has a weird lizard tongue. It's long and disgusting. When you look
whatever.
at it, it's weirdly shaped. It's like weird. And Mel B was like, "What did you
He
just
was
do to
kind of
me?"
dramatic with it though. But yeah, and then like yeah, I don't know. Like
He was like,
I'm kind of like I'm not as crazy as like I'm not like as crazy as Heidi, but I mean Howie, but like I don't like having like things like I always carry sanitizer with me. I'm like
Yeah.
it's me. Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't know. I didn't want to be picked for those things. Like I would go up and do other things. I if they wanted me to do something with like a dog act. Like if Sarah and Hero needed someone in the audience, I'm there.
Yeah. In December of 2015, he has a show in the Flamingo, but he did this thing called Piffmas Pifftacular, his Christmas show
Oh.
in Vegas. And me and my dad actually flew out, and that was the show we saw on Christmas. That was my big Christmas present that year, going to Vegas. And we had like special VIP tickets that cost like $100 each because I was like a huge Piff fan back in 2015. And so me and my dad, we got to sit in this one little cabaret area in the Flamingo. Our seats were so close to the stage. I could reach out my hand and touch the stage. It was that close. The thing is, they weren't even like organized like seats. It was just like there's like tables, like little chairs around. It wasn't like it was in a very intimate venue. There was maybe like 100 people there per night, and it was really cool. And my dad got picked for something.
I love the intimate venue shows. We used to like my mom and I went to like Toronto. The main theater scene is there's 4 theaters. They're owned by the Mirvish company, and there's some theaters we like there, and some theaters we really hate there. There's one that's like so like cramped, and it was like made for short people 100 years ago, and it's like I hate that. But like there's some theaters we like. So we used to go to the musicals all the time there. Like there'd be like they just do like Broadway style shows, like the tryout of Aladdin before it went to Broadway. We saw like a lot of other ones. And now we like it's so funny because like this for the Illusions, this is probably the first time we go there in a couple of years. And it's in my favorite theater there, so I'm really happy. But like usually now we're like going to this place. It's a casino because I can go because I'm 19. I was when you turn 19 here, that's when you like all the stuff like drinking and casinos. So I could finally go. So like we just go to Casino Rama now. It's called. That's where we're seeing Tape Face. Pretty much every time someone from Dancing with the Stars does anything, like their tours or their people, like I'm like we're going there. Like we're going there, and it's really cool. So like yeah, like I just like that kind of venue. It's kind of like a mid-sized venue, I'd call it.
That's good.
So it's like decent. Like I've sat on all different places. I've sat on the floor. I've sat in the stands. It's all good. Yeah, but I really like the small venues, like you said. Like it's just more fun.
Yeah.
The big venues, like I feel like I have to be so formal and like I have to act all formal and act quiet.
Yeah, like Matt Franco, when I saw him, his venue was pretty big. Piff's was really small. So, but then again, Matt's show was bigger, and Piff's was a lot more intimate.
Yeah, like the intimate shows are my favorite, except for like I don't know, I would be scared to go to an intimate magic show just because I don't want to get called out of those.
We'll sit in the back then.
I'm sitting in the back. I think we're on the balcony. We're probably gonna be on the balcony for the Illusionists because that's normally what we do for the Marvel shows.
Yeah. When I saw The Illusionist, it was in like December 2014, and like it was all the different ones than there is now. Like Colin wasn't there, the clairvoyants weren't there, but I sat maybe like 10 rows from the stage, and they were picking people in the back. They were picking people everywhere as long as it was like on the floor. So
no, make sure we're not on the floor then. I'm gonna be so scared if we're on the floor. I really don't want to be on the floor.
You mean they give you options? Like if you don't want to go up, you don't have to. They don't force you.
No, but I would be like I don't know. Like I don't want to get singled out all of this. But like I don't know. It just would scare me a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like yeah, and I like performing and stuff, but like I don't like being like not knowing, like performing and not knowing.
Yeah.
Like, not being one out of the control and like being made fun of. Like that scares me.
Oh yeah.
It'd be scary. Yeah. So do we have any more questions? Just do you have any tea? More tea and anything like
any more
what
tea?
Surprised you? What's like the most surprising thing about going to like these live shows? Like
Oh. I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, I see contestants like at like these normal places. Like I see them at like restaurants, and I see them coming in and out of Dave and Buster's. I'm like, oh, they spend time together.
Wasn't the kissing thing at the restaurant?
The what at the restaurant?
Tape Face. When Tape Face kissed you.
Oh yeah, I saw Tape Face at California Pizza Kitchen the night he got like advanced to the finals.
Oh, you mean the Duncan save, like the most intense Duncan save of all?
Most intense Duncan save that was between him and Laura Bertrand by 200 votes.
You're like, go, please vote Tape Face, everybody.
Yeah, I took another selfie with him. I'll find it in the California Pizza Kitchen. It was super cool. He was so willing to take another one. I'm just like, like, he talked about, like, the thing that Mel B did. He's like, "Yeah, they apologized. It's alright." But he was kinda sad about it, but he's a really, really, really nice guy, so I'm trying to find
And I mean,
it.
he still made the finals, so like, there's
Mhm.
some.
Yeah, good for him. Here we go. I saw him in California Pizza Kitchen, and he covers his mouth in all the pictures. Yeah, he's a very, very nice person. Like,
Yeah.
and that's
Although, just don't ask him, do you talk? Because like he'll get pissed off.
don't ask him how he eats because like he's like,
I was
how
watching that interview and he's like,
how do
"Yeah,
you eat?
is he gonna talk? Yes, he's gonna talk."
Like he talked to me. He has a really thick, deep New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
For anybody who hasn't heard it, it's pretty wild. That surprised me because that was the first time I heard him talk is when I met him. No, I think I saw like an interview, but like the first time I really actually heard his voice was like when I met him. I'm like, wow, he has a really wild voice. But yeah, I think the thing that surprised me most, I have an answer, how nice the contestants are. When I first, there's some that I'm so scared to approach because I think they're going to be so mean. Like, I thought Tape Base was going to be mean. I thought the Clairvoyants were going to be mean. I thought Lincoln Bridge was going to be straight up like, don't talk to us. They
Oh,
were
what
all,
was Lincoln Bridge like? I always forget about them, but they seem so cool.
they, when I first like saw them, like they were interacting with like some other like people and they were talking to them, they were really like happy and smiling. I'm like, oh, I thought they wouldn't be like that. When I talked to them, like, hey, you guys are awesome, can we take a selfie? And the guy, he takes my phone, he's like, you think you could take a selfie with your short arm? Sure, I'll take the selfie. And he took one of us together, and like they're such nice people. Like,
Lincoln Bridge seems so chill. I feel like well,
they
besides the
are.
two acts we mentioned that are being kind of standoffish this season, I've heard some things about Greater Works that aren't so good.
Really? Why not?
I don't know, like I get no, no. Actually, I think that was just people complaining they didn't hug them or whatever. Like when they got like went through. Like
I mean,
everyone
like,
was so mad this season because the acts get told to leave the stage, so then they were
yeah,
like,
cool.
people were freaking out Pompeo when they didn't go hug Mandy. But like
Like,
they hugged I think they hugged them in the semifinals. They hugged whoever made it.
yeah, I think they're told like once you're off, leave the stage. Like that's what Puddles did. So I mean, singing Trump stayed on, but you know,
Yeah.
I think it's a rule. Like, don't get mad at them. They have to do what they have to do. Yeah.
What else did you? Who else did you meet? Like I love hearing these stories. Was there any like really funny things that happened?
Um.
Like what was the audience like? Was there any funny audience stories?
Well, basically, every year since only since kind of like season 11, but my dad, he goes out of his way to be first in line. Like the ticket pickup is like 11. He gets there at 8, so he's like waiting for like hours just to get a good seat. He's so great to me when it comes to that stuff, and he's willing to do it. And so in the audience, there's like the audience warm up guy. He's like, okay, we have a T-shirt, and we want to find out who was first in line. We'll give this to the person who was first in line, and everybody around us knows that me and my dad were first in line. So we get called down in front of the whole audience while the acts are still on stage. And there was one time after the show, after the not quarterfinal, semifinal last year, Grace's parents, because we kept running into them, they said, "Oh, you guys were the ones that won the T-shirt. We saw you guys," because they remembered us because we had talked to them before. And then they saw us again. They're like, "Oh yeah, you guys won the T-shirt." So yeah, Grace saw me get a T-shirt. How cool is that?
Wow.
So yeah, and this year me and my dad got a T-shirt too. Like I have the T-shirts. I'll show you one. They're really cool. Okay, so I have two of them right here. They're this one. They just say America's Got Talent on them. I think I got that one last year. That's not an AGT shirt. It's the same color though. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, here we go. I got this one. I got that one in New York. I wear that one to bed sometimes, and this is the one I got this year.
Oh, cool.
Yep, I have like 5 AGT shirts just from going over the years and winning them. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like, oh my gosh, like, I just love hearing all this stuff. I love hearing stories. Maybe I'll go one year. I don't know.
You gotta.
Oh my
There
gosh,
was
I gotta try something like I don't know. I want to go, like, I just want to make sure, like, when I go, like, I don't know if So You Think's still happening again next year. I hope it is, like, so then I can go to that, or like, for the past 2 seasons at least, I don't know before that, like, the last week of AGT has coincided with the first week of Dancing with the Stars. So if I could, like, go to both of those, that would be, like, make my life. So, like, I
Yeah,
gotta make sure, like that'd be the last week though. I'd have to, like, plan it out really well. But, like, if So You Think happens next year, like, that would be fine too. Like, I would go to that.
yeah.
That's like,
One thing that's actually making me kind of sad this year is that the AGT finale and the Big Brother finale are on the same day, same time, same 2 hour span, and I'm like so upset. So
oh
yeah,
my gosh, my family's gonna want to watch AGT, so we'll flip back and forth. What's
yeah.
making me kind of sad is, like, everyone's saying this. Okay, so we got this happened last year too, although this year it's happening for 2 weeks. So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars, like, they're both dance shows. They even have, like, some people in common on both. They are they're now taking it the same time slot for the next 2 weeks. We'll see You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars starts. So, like, they have to pre-tape stuff, whatever, and, like, we're really here because, like, the dance community is gonna watch Dancing with the Stars, and they're, like, Singing and Dance is gonna get neglected and possibly canceled. So we're really, like,
Oh
freaking.
wow.
One of them's
That's
like,
not
one person who's, like, reports on the show is like, okay, dance fans watch So You Think You Can Dance, DVR Dancing with the Stars, and then, like, everyone's, like, being all snarky. They're like, well, if my favorites didn't get kicked out of So You Think You Can Dance, I'd watch it, or like, I'm having my dream celebrity and dance stars. Do you really think I'm gonna watch that?
mm.
And, like, So You Think You Can Dance is probably gonna get canceled now. It's only down to, like, 2 or 3 million people a week now. So, like I was scared, like, AGT's gonna, like, go. AGT's not going anywhere. Like, I'm scared for all my other shows. Like, So You Think is maybe getting 1 or 2 more years. Dancing with the Stars is, like, I don't know. I think we might get to 30 if we're lucky. We're on 25.
That's awesome.
Survivor, I'm kind of eh. America's Got Talent is, like, the highest rated show of the summer.
Yeah,
It's not going.
they've signed on for a season 14 already. I mean, people are like, yeah, Simon Cowell, he signed on to be a judge up until season 14, which confirms a season 14. And then there are people saying, well, that means season 14 is going to be the last season. I'm like, no,
Contract renewals
it just said
exist.
Simon signed on.
Contract renewals exist. Like, they can change it, or they can get new judges. Like, it's fine. Like, we've had
Yeah.
a lot of judge changes. We've had host changes. Like, it's here. People are going to have sob stories, and people are going to go viral, and people are going to watch it. Tune in, because
Yeah.
there's nothing else to tune in Tuesdays. Like, Tuesday nights in the summer, like, what else is on Tuesdays? Like, Monday, there's, like, The Bachelorette. Wednesdays, there's Big Brother, which I guess is,
Yeah.
but, like, what is Tuesdays? Like, AGT dominates Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Like, there's,
Definitely.
like, I don't know. So, like, yeah. Any other fun stories? I just love hearing the stories. Like, it's really cool.
When I met Blake Voigt, he was carrying Subway and he was walking to his room, and I told him, "Are you Blake?" He's like, "Yeah." And like up close, like he's so cool, he's so nice, and he was on a show on the Sci-Fi Channel called Wizard Wars. It was him and another guy from The Illusionists who were like on the one season, and
Yeah.
this was back in like 2014. And then I met him in 2016. I'm like, I saw you on Wizard Wars. He's like, wow, really? That was so long ago. So he could tell I was like true Blake Voigt fan. But yeah,
I
he's
love
big in
him.
the magic community.
I
I'm
love
like,
him. So everyone made fun of him for marrying a woman who looked like his sister.
oh yeah, all the comments like back when I saw him perform, and what I like to do is after the show, me and my dad go to a restaurant and I look at the acts on YouTube. I just read the comments and they're like, "What the heck? His wife looks like his sister." I'm like, "Oh wow, she does." So
Next year,
yeah,
I'm gonna do this for AGT. I don't know why I forgot to do this year. Maybe I'll do it for the finale. Like, I did this with Dancing with the Stars last season. Like, you know how and I do look at the comments for AGT. Like, I go on Facebook mostly because that's where, like, the casuals hang out, like, who don't know what they're talking about. And, like, I take notes. And, like, every time I see a positive comment mainly about someone, I give them a point, and then I'll do, like, a poll for the week, like, who got the most love or whatever. And, like, the hate I don't count because you can't vote against people. And then, like, it's pretty accurate. So I'm gonna try and do that for AGT next year.
oh, that'll be interesting.
Like, I feel like, yeah, because, like, that's, like, I was starting to kind of do that yesterday. That's why I was kind of predicting Ketchy might not do so well on Wednesday, just because of
Yeah.
that. And, like, that's why I'm like, okay, Merrick's gone. I thought Diablo was gone based on that though, so I don't know.
Did you hear what happened to Diablo in the West Coast? Like
Yes, I
it
think I
cut
mentioned.
out.
act got cut halfway off. That's why I'm like, as soon as I saw that, and everyone's like, it's so weird. This act is too weird. I'm like, yeah, they're gone. And then I'm like, I was just like, okay, them and the Duncan, I had such a strange reaction because I'm like, okay, like I'd already kind of accepted that they were gonna leave, and then they're suddenly like here, and I really wanted them to stay. It was just like I just had like in my head, like I'd kind of like accepted they were gone, so it was very. I had a strange, I don't know, like especially when they were against Colin, who I was like begging to stay. Even though, like I said, like Diablo was my favorite actor of the night, like I was experiencing like cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
It was so sure. Like if Merrick had ended up in the Duncan save, I probably would have felt the same way.
I knew they was gonna pick Diablo. I knew the
I knew
judges
they
were
were
gonna
gonna pick
go.
Diablo. Like I don't know. Like I couldn't even watch it. Like I'm like I want to see them pick Diablo. I don't want to see either of them go. Like I can't watch this no matter what they do.
Yeah.
And
It was
like
sad.
it was sad. Like it made me. I mean, it made me happy to see Diablo and Light Balance cover. That was like a miracle. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
no way are both of these in the finale.
Them and Light Balance have made it. Good for them. That's awesome.
Remember how everyone was scared Stairwell was gonna make it again?
Yeah. In the stairwell.
I was
I
pretty
saw
sure
that.
it was gonna be Light Balance, but I'm like, okay, is this gonna? Are we really like? I really didn't like how they like mentioned like they were like talking about 9/11, which had nothing to do with this. They're just talking about
Yeah.
because it's relevant and they're
Mm-hmm.
like
You
that's
need those votes.
not cool. I have a question. How do you think they're gonna handle Evie's dad?
I think in her interview she'll mention it. She'll be like, I'm singing this for my dad tonight, and she'll perform and she'll end up in top 5 and
Do you think like how do you think they're gonna handle it though? Like I feel like with the package because like the last package went really deep into it. They were showing like home movies.
mm-hmm.
I'm like wondering because like I don't know. I just don't want them to do it really distastefully. Although Evie, I'm sure, is willing to talk about it. Whatever, it's her. It's like it's partly her decision. I'm sure. Her
Yeah.
coming back, even like she knows. I just feel like I hope she's really. Like I mean they handled Brandon really really well.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like I was really impressed. I've just like seen because like a couple of seasons ago on Dancing with the Stars, one contestant who was 16, her grandmother passed away during the week leading up to like the semifinals it was, and they hid it from her. They told her dance partner, and they didn't tell her. They had her dance partner break it to her, not her family, and they hid it from her for like 2 days. And then like during the episode, they played this whole package. They'd taken footage because they knew the grandmother was gonna die. They took the footage from like before the show even started. They filmed her and the grandmother her visiting, and they like filmed that, and they filmed like messages from the grandmother, and it was like it's just like they really exploited it, and they played it right before she danced, and she didn't have any say in it, and she was like crying when she was dancing. Like that was
Oh
like
my God, that's awful.
they did it for drama, and they also did it so she'd get sympathy, so she'd win. But like it was really awful. Like that was
Some
like
contestants should be
it was
treated
so
like that.
exploited. Like the fact that they were like filming this knowing the grandma was gonna die, and they were just like sitting on it for like 2 months. Like that was disgusting.
Yeah. Like I hear they do that with like all of these shows. Like they film them crying and they use it and
Like
they exploit
Big
it.
Brother is crap for that too. Like they don't
Yeah.
well. I think Survivor deals with it really well. They've done some. They've had some blowouts happen there, and they've like tastefully dealt with it. Um, I think AGT is good at that. Like they're kind of messy in some ways, but I think it's gonna be
They don't do it like awful. They
like
don't
I feel like giving her the pimp spot is gonna be a little much if that happens.
yeah. Well definitely it's gonna put her in top 5.
Just because like her like no, doing the pimp spot and like teasing it all night, like I'm afraid they're gonna do that.
Maybe.
Like that would be kind of low for them. Like I mean I'm sure it'll probably. I feel like Evie could go second last actually,
Maybe.
but Darcy at the end because I feel like Darcy's gonna be at the end.
Yeah. Because people want Darcy win. Preacher lost and tweeted Darcy's gonna win, so
Preacher has been like real all season.
oh my gosh, I love him. Like
Like
on the on Colin's quarterfinal video, he commented, "Oh, so we each get 40 minutes now, huh?" I love that. He's so great.
that was amazing. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. That's like that was like the easiest act to drag though. Let's be real.
To roast.
Like that was like everyone was roasting that act.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
yeah.
because I love him, but like, hey, come on, like he's got to do better next week. Like, please
Yeah,
do better.
that was weak
And
of him.
I think ending up in Duncan save that week was probably good because, like, I mean, I'm glad he got the Duncan save. Like, I feel like if he'd gotten top 5, like, I feel like Duncan save was like a wake up call for some of them Because, like, I remember Lincoln Bridge, I think, got the judges' save and then ended up being top 3 the next episode. Like, it kind of scares them a little bit.
It makes them step up their game.
It makes them start the game. It's like, whoa. Like, they get, like, scared. Like, even Evie did better her semi-final after she got Duncan save.
Yeah, she improved.
So, yeah, one last question, because I guess we have to go soon. I don't know. I don't know. I have to check. What time is it? Okay, I maybe should. Can I go soon? Because it is kind of like, I feel like I should be gone by midnight. We're fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what time zone you're in.
What time is it for you?
11:18.
Same.
Okay. But it's Friday night.
Yeah.
What do you think each act is gonna like do for the finals? Like, what do you think it's gonna be like? Like, there's one song everyone thinks Chase is gonna sing. I haven't heard it yet.
Jaded.
Pardon?
Like his original. People think he's gonna sing his original called Jaded, which I've never heard and I have no interest in hearing.
Yeah. But we're gonna hear it probably. I think Darcy is going to do one of two things. I've watched a lot of her on YouTube lately. She's gonna either do the act with this one puppet she hasn't brought out yet. It's a cowgirl, and she's gonna yodel with it.
If she yodels, I don't think she'll win.
That's the thing. Like, some people are saying yodeling's gonna put her over the top, and then like some people are saying yodeling is not gonna help her win. Or there's this other act she did. She did it with the bunny puppet. It's a Kristen Chenoweth song, and it's like that was really she did it for a pageant. That was really good. She can do like, and part of it's her singing, like part of it's her like interacting with the puppet, like singing herself, and she can like really, she's like amazing. She can like do opera or whatever. Like, but that's not the whole song. I don't know. That's just like playing it up, I guess. I don't know. I feel like one of those two is gonna happen. Like, she's gotta do something extra special with her voice. Like, I feel like I'm almost scared the semifinals. Like, she's not gonna be able to top that.
Maybe.
Because that was like next level.
I liked her quarterfinal a lot.
Her quarterfinal was cute. I think like her quarterfinal was like my least favorite, but like I still really liked it. I feel like, I don't know. I'm worried she's like overstepped her game because like she is not one for, like, I know they always say step up your game. If she'd just done like another ventriloquist act or whatever, like a normal thing for semifinals, that would have been fine. Like, she would have been top 3. Like, she really didn't have to do anything. For finals, I think she's gonna have to do something. Like, everyone's gonna have to do something. Like, but like, yeah. What kind of route do you think Mandy's gonna take? Because like the first two, she had her ukulele.
She's gonna sing another original. She tweeted like, I'm singing an original I wrote.
I mean, like, what style song? Do you think it's gonna be more like her first two, or more like the one? I really love the one she did this week.
Yeah, because like the first two kind of like slow and nice, but this one was like different.
Play any other instruments? Like, she gonna bring that?
I know. Well, she plays the ukulele, but when I met her, she said, I don't want to perform with my ukulele. I want to sign while I sing. So
You did that this week. So I'm wondering
yeah,
what
I think
she's gonna be able to top that next time. Angelica's just, I don't know what Angelica can do. This is why I don't think she's gonna win anymore. Because I was thinking like during the quarterfinals, like, okay, Angelica might actually win. But like after last night, I'm like, after this week, because like it wasn't like she got pimp spot and everything. It wasn't like she wasn't the most memorable for me.
Yeah, she's nice, but
like Mandy was more memorable that week.
Absolutely.
Both the dance acts were memorable that week. I remember the giant robot in Merrick's act more than her.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I think Merrick got a little too gimmicky. But
yeah. He built his whole thing around robots.
How is Preacher gonna build himself over the top? Because he's already referenced
Tyra. Maybe he'll start talking about the other contestants.
Oh, is it? He knows he can't win. That's the thing. He's made the finals. He's made his first. He's gonna go. Is he gonna start roasting people now?
I hope he does.
Like,
that would just be so funny.
Just roast everybody because he knows he won't win. So like, just go for it. What do you think the theme for Sarah and Hero will be?
Like, what do you think? What they'll place or what they'll do?
What they'll do? What kind of like thing they're gonna do? Because like they had the beach theme, they had the spy theme, they had the pirate theme, and they had the Egypt theme. I feel like it'll be like a fantasy, maybe.
Maybe.
Like,
it's gonna be a theme, but I'm not sure. But they step it up every single time. Like, even like their audition, I was like, but like they've gotten so much better.
They've gotten like amazing. Like I'm wondering how this is gonna go. Like what can they do? Because like the volleyball thing was amazing.
It was. I really liked it. I
That was
liked,
oh.
yeah, like the dogs. Just like at the end when they were judging, they were just like gnawing on the frisbee. That was so cute. So people are gonna like them. They're gonna vote for them. I don't think they're gonna be in top 5, but
I think they might get 5th. Like I feel like I don't know. Especially well, if Evie's dad hadn't died, I think they might have had a shot at 5th.
if Evie's dad hadn't died, Evie wouldn't be in top 5.
If Evie's dad wasn't dying, Evie would have been Angelica. Not Angelica, Evie. Not Angelica.
Yeah.
Angelina.
Angelina Green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I remember now, because she was in Judge Cuts too, and that was kind of like an underwhelming kind of episode. So, like, she might have still gotten through, but I don't think she would have gotten through quarters. Like,
Maybe.
Denzo. She would not be here. What do you think? I think Ketchy stepped up her game emotionally this week.
Definitely.
I don't think she stepped it up with the actual singing. So, what do you think? What kind of song do you think she should sing?
Probably, I don't know, something that really relates like to her, like a dramatic, like she sang like "By the Grace of God" in her quarterfinal, I think, and something like that really touches her.
I feel like more big notes is gonna make people stand out because like she didn't have any this week. Christian didn't have any this week.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Celine kind of did. But yeah, like I feel like, and I'm like, Ketchy do not do an original, Evie do not do it. Like no one else do originals if we haven't been doing originals. We learned that with Johnny. But we need something that's like really gonna like blow the roof off the place.
Yeah.
How do you think Diablo is gonna top?
They're gonna bring a big prop and they're gonna spin and flip and throw each other around.
Like they just did the creation of the universe, like the story of the universe. Like what can they do?
Maybe they could tell like a real story with this act. Like there used to be like shadow acts, like silhouette acts, and they would tell.
Yeah, I like those. I feel like people were like, "This is getting old" or whatever, and like people understand that. So I don't think they should do just that, but they can incorporate that.
They can, or something like telling a story. I think just telling a story, using like all the people.
This is one act that's really built on all the other ones. Like they have, okay, here's a set piece. Here's a more complicated set piece. Here's an even more complicated set piece with spinning. Here's like a whole Broadway style set. What kind of tricks do you think light balance should do? Because I feel like for me, light balance is best, but it's still the second one.
Light balance, I like them all.
Really good. They've always been really good, but I think the best one was the second one, where they did the Wolfman trick.
Yeah.
Like nothing's beat that. So like maybe they could do like changing from character to character, like different animals or something.
They remind me of like a lot of Zero A, because Zero A was like season 10. They would stand in a row and like things would light up and then stuff, and Light Balance does it too. Their suits light up like one by one in a row, and it looks kind of like an animation. And
I feel like they should tell a solid story, and then they could like come top 3 even.
Definitely. I mean, like, not every act needs a story to perform to, but sometimes it gets more engaging, and to follow the story, it's more fun, and people get remember that.
You either need a story that in your performance or a story in your package.
Yeah, some sort of thing to follow that has like a story.
Get invested in your journey, because like, and you have to like be able to like have a coherent story and like tell it, and like people understand, like especially like from semifinals onward, like quarterfinals. If you do some cool tricks, you could probably move on. Like Sarah and Hero had a really good thing at the beach where he's reviving her, and then they're playing, and then another dog comes. There's been like some stories and like storylines more coherent than others. Like Puddles is like I think confused a lot of people.
Yeah. Like, is he really sad? Is he mad that he left, or is it just his character? Like, he angrily stormed off the stage, or is he mad?
People were like lost. Like people didn't understand the video package. Colin's quarterfinal kind of comes to mind, and they're like, really, like, what is this story? Like, what was that?
He's like, I went to college when I was 15. I'm like, what?
No, his quarterfinal thing.
Oh, not like his backstory? Oh, his quarterfinal was a flaw.
It made no sense. Like, it's like, okay, we're gonna murder Simon, but not really. But like,
Yeah, and that girl was what if the plan? What if she picked the wrong knife and Colin just went with it and gave it to Melby and let her do it?
I don't know. I think he like maybe like I feel like the rubber part got put onto whatever color she picked.
Yeah,
I
it's
just thought of that now. Like I was watching this, I was rewatching it because I just didn't understand it, like that whole act. And then like halfway through, he like cuts the story and like goes somewhere else. Like I think he really stepped it up in the semifinals just by like doing
a
one
lot.
trick. Like let's focus on one trick. Let's really play this out. Let's like, cause like you have to like. This is why I think Puddles confused some people compared to Tape Face. Like you have to like play to like the general audience a bit. Like once you have a Vegas show, you can like do your thing and like take people on a journey because it's on like it's
Yeah.
like an hour, 2 hour show. But like with Puddles, like it's like he's sad, but like you don't really know why. And then they showed the birthday party thing, but it was very abstract. And then
Yeah.
like Tape Face was just like someone doing weird stuff. There was like no story to it, but like it worked because like he was telling like many things. Like it was just something people could understand better or like appreciate the not understanding. Like it was simpler.
Yeah. Like there's some
Like
things you don't understand, but like you get it because like there's no story to follow. There's
like
no.
clairvoyance had like a really like I understood where they were coming from. I understood what they were supposed to be. Like they have connection with each other. They can do it. Like their equivalent this year, I guess, was Colin, who confused me because like it's like he's half the Sherlock Holmes, half a magic guy. Like what is this? And it would like
He's like
switch.
clairvoyant, but
He's like just like but then he does like magic tricks. Like it was kind of hard to understand where he was coming from, and like I really was like intrigued like the whole season. But like I was just like, okay, like which one are you? Like he kind of went back and forth. I thought who else did a good job? I think Steven's theme was cool. Um,
Steven. Oh yeah.
with the Rubik's cubes, although I think he was kind of running out of ideas with that towards the end because he was doing stuff he could have done without them.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like you gotta pick something. Like I think Darcy's really good at that because she's had a different puppet every time she's been on.
Yeah. Mhm. It's a different theme every time. So.
I think what's been with Chase, the thing with Chase versus Mandy is, well, Mandy does have a better story, but Chase is like does the same type of song over and over.
Ace is just like, girl, this girl doesn't like me. I want to prove that I'm better than her boyfriend. I'm
They
a
all sound the
nice
same.
guy.
Mandy's has all of Mandy's songs so far have been very distinct. I think.
Absolutely.
Like it's like two ukulele, but they're very different. Like I think like Grace last season was like Grace last season was like the only two I could really like. I mean, if I heard this song, I would know it was her and I would recognize it. But like the first song and the last song really both stood out to me, and the other two like sound like the same.
With Grace.
Yeah, she's gotten better. Like the Moonlight song I heard, like that's distinct. Like
Yeah.
she's moving. I know you were like complaining you had to like you were like she was the guest at your show and she's
Mhm.
not that great live with those kind of songs.
Yeah, but like she was in the semifinal last year, and now she's the guest this year. And the thing is, this has nothing to do with her act, but when I met her last year, when we took our selfie together, she's 12 and I was 17, and she was just like an inch shorter than me. Now she's 3 inches taller than me, and I'm bitter about that. And she's like, I'm 5'3" now. I'm like,
Oh, you talked to her again?
no, on the stage, she was talking about how she got older, and then I looked up like an interview with her, and yeah, she's taller than
I
me.
think Lori's grown too.
Lori, I actually saw her again, and I took another picture with her. Her and I are like the exact same height.
I feel
Hold
you know
on.
she like looks a lot older like between last year and this year. Although I guess last year they had her in like in pigtails like a lot, and she like looked like
They did. She looked younger, of
but like
course,
yeah,
but
she just dresses like your typical teenage nerd now, like
yeah,
which is fine. Like nothing wrong with nerd. Just saying. Um,
yeah, like that's me with Lori. We're like the exact same height.
yeah, and you're wearing your
Yeah.
ears.
What?
You,
Oh yeah, my ears. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like okay. So like before we go, I guess one more question. Like I just kind of thought of this. Like, do you think things are gonna be any different next year? Cause like, do we even know if Tyra signed on again?
We don't know. We know Simon, that's it.
We know
But
Simon. I feel like I heard all the judges signed till like season 15. That's what I heard.
really? Season
like
15.
15, yeah. I'm pretty sure we'll
Ooh.
get to season 15 unless we like the world ends.
Yeah,
We'll
but
get to season 15.
15, I hope.
I feel like we're gonna get to like 20 at this rate.
Really?
Because
I
the show is
hope.
like this is like the highest ratings of the summer. Like it's not going anywhere.
It gets better every year. Why would they end it? I mean, like, they killed
Ratings
American Idol, but
Aren't ratings improving? Like that doesn't happen. So like they're gonna keep it. With anyway, like yeah. I'm just wondering because like they got a lot of backlash this season. Like Tyra even made fun of this on Twitter. He's like, my golden buzzer gonna be a singer?
nope, it wasn't. It was the only good golden buzzer, except for Mandy. I like Mandy, but yeah,
I feel like yeah, like I don't know.
you
Like
picked a good one.
because I'm worried. Like I'm wondering if that's gonna be like happening again next year. Because I know the judge. I don't blame the judge cuts good ones except for Simon manipulating Seal. Because they're done in a
Mhm.
vacuum. Like like they're done before the auditions air. Like they don't know who else is on. Like they don't know who the judges picked as their golden buzzer. Like they
It's
just pick
true.
who they like. So like I don't know.
Who
Like I don't know
knows?
if are the judges gonna pick all singers again next year? I feel like Heidi's next year is gonna be really good.
Judging by all of her golden buzzers in the past, except for Sal. I like Sal, but
Sal's
they've all
good.
been singers,
They also got
and
on singers too, but like singers that you kind of want to see on Got Talent. Like that's the kind of thing people
yeah,
want to
like
see.
Sharon Irving I liked, and Darcy is good, and
Yeah, and like you can't get Laura elsewhere, although my issues with her side. I feel like next year, like Heidi is going. Like I feel like the golden buzzer thing now. It used to be like give this act another chance, like regardless of what the other judges think. Now it's like who's gonna pick the winner? That's what it's kind of turned
yeah,
into.
because the winner always gets a golden buzzer.
So like last year it was Howie. This year it's gonna be Mel or Simon. Like I think Heidi's gonna like really be really determined to pick like a really good golden buzzer next year.
Maybe. I
I feel
mean,
like she's gonna like. I feel like she's gonna have the best one.
hmm.
Um, of the main judges anyway. Like I feel like I don't know, cause like I think they know, and I think like Howie's been mentioning this a lot in the past few weeks about variety, and like we can't see this on other shows. So I feel like next year he might pick something that's not a singer.
Maybe. I mean, Simon always picks
Simon
singers.
literally always picks singer because like we know he wants to sign them. Like okay,
Yeah.
Mel B picks singers because she is a singer. Um,
He used to pick a comedian. He
Howie
picked a
picked a
comedian
comedian.
first,
Didn't
yeah.
Howie pick Drew?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, yeah, I feel like he's gonna like. I remember watching. It's funny. I remember watching the Christian Golden Buzzer episode, and like they were showing like I knew there was Howie's Golden Buzzer that night, and I was like they were showing like all these flashes of acts going through. And I'm like, as soon as I see Christian, I'm like, okay, I have a feeling he's getting Golden Buzzer. I don't see him holding anything. I just see him holding the mic. Please be a comedian. Like, please do stand up.
Yeah.
Please, please,
Yeah.
please.
He looked like he could have done stand up,
He
but
does, and then it's like, oh, I'm a singer. Okay, bye. I
I
flipped
liked
out
it
on the
when
blog. I flipped out when he got. I'm like, why do we need more singers? And I'm like, no offense to him, but like, really, we're gonna do this?
I remember when Artion and Paige walked on the stage and Simon was like, "Are you gonna sing for us?" And they're like, "No," and they're like, "Thank God." Like, we get so many singers.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
become like a joke now, even for them. Like, I feel like this, like last year, it wasn't really addressed. Like, it's just like, yeah, here's a bunch of singers. You know,
They're self-aware now. They know what's
it's
going
self-aware.
on.
I don't know if we're gonna be It's either next year. Next year, it's either gonna be like a self-parody where they like make jokes about it, but like don't do anything, or it's gonna kind of shift to more
Maybe.
variety. Because like what's happening next year? Like all like 8 out of 10 acts are gonna be singers in the finals. Like that's gonna be like
I hope not. If there's like,
I don't
you
think
know,
it's
what would be wild if there was a finale with 9 singers and one variety act, and the variety act won. That would show them.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be a boring finale, but yeah, that
Yeah,
variety
like
act was.
last year the singers had so much more variety too. Because this year it's like all pop singers or indie original songwriters. Like
Yeah,
last year's finale we had like a cappella group, lounge singer, opera singer, indie singer songwriter, and one pop singer. Yeah, one Brian who like kind of
genre.
reimagined things. So like
I like Sal's genre a lot,
Sal
but
is
like,
cool. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I feel like he didn't need to be a golden buzzer. Like but like he's good. Like he's
He
funny.
is. He's very nice too. He's funny. He could
Isn't
be a
he
comedian.
awesome?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was he in your show?
Yeah, he was. He opened up that show.
I feel like he opened up every show. Like I feel like they tended to put the same acts in like similar spots. Like
Yeah.
some people would close. Like Brian and Grace were like closing. Brian, Grace, and Laura were like closing every week. It'd be one of those three. They'd have like Sal go at the beginning. They'd have Jaina go at the beginning.
Hmm.
They'd put like, and then this year it's like Celine goes at the beginning, Darcy goes at the end.
Darcy,
The
Mandy.
magic goes early on in the show, so you forget about it.
Yeah, who needs magic?
And then like the dance groups tend to go later on, so that's cool. But like
Mayor
yeah, like I
and
feel like they did a slightly better job of mixing it up this season.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I see
But again,
Darcy.
I see Darcy winning. I see Mandy either getting second or winning. I kind of saw Angelica beating Mandy at one point, but I don't see that anymore.
Yeah,
Like she's not like Angelica. Like she got a golden buzzer, but it was like a judge because when we don't really like it wasn't like one of the main judges. So they don't hype her up that way. She's
yeah.
not Darcy. She's not She's not Mandy, Ketchy, or
Evie.
Evie, who has a story. She doesn't write original songs like Mandy. And well, actually, she does have a story, but like she's better now. She it was like she was sick and she's better. And
Yeah,
like she's not even the only kid. Evie and Darcy are there. So
they're
like
all kids except for Mandy and Ketchy.
yeah, I feel like yeah, I feel like she might not even. I feel like she's gonna make top five. I feel like she might not even make top five now. I don't know.
Maybe not. Who
I feel like
knows?
she might be like Laura and like get sixth.
Hmm.
And like I don't know, just because like last year I was shocked at like the variety in the top five because like they called three singers and then like two magicians and then they cut two singers and I was like what? Like I
I
don't
was
know.
hoping the Clairvoyants would win, but I knew they wouldn't.
I knew they wouldn't win. Like if I was like I was a bit ready to laugh because they're like it's 1% or I'm like oh my gosh if the clairvoyants win by like less than 1% I'm gonna like everyone's gonna like freak out tomorrow. And then
But
Grace won. I'm like
no.
okay. But like imagine how
Dang.
much press AGT would get.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like
We need
remember when
another.
Susan Boyle lost Britain's Got Talent
Hmm.
and like people were freaking out. Like what if Darcy loses?
People be like, oh,
What if Darcy loses to like Preacher or like I love Preacher, but like one who's not like Preacher? Just actually, I feel like that would maybe I don't know. I mean, no press is bad press, but I feel like that like damage Preacher's image. I don't know because whoever
maybe.
beats Darcy, unless it's Mandy or maybe Angelica, like their image is like the villain.
Yeah, because they're because it was their fault. They beat a
Their fault.
little
You didn't
girl.
win. Like okay, so this is really annoying. So at the end of last season of Dancing with the Stars, there were three people left. One was a pop girl from Fifth Harmony, who like was like the ringer dancer or whatever that was left. One was a baseball player who was like really popular, but he wasn't really that good a dancer. And then there was like a football player who could dance, but wasn't like the ringer, like I mean, I totally expected him to win from the beginning because I know how the show works. And then like when the one girl got third, like the pop girl got third, like everyone started freaking out, and like all the media press, whenever the winners would and the runners up would go to interviews, it's like you caused an upset, you beat Ronnie. It was like no, like
That wasn't their
Ronnie got
fault.
pimped to the end, but like
Yeah.
we think AGT does pimping bad, like blatant,
Mhm.
obvious, like Dancing with the Stars, like they pick like one person they want to get to the end, like hell bent on getting to the end every season, and then they get them to the end, and then they don't win, and
Mhm.
it's just like so funny, but it's sad because like the semifinals of Dancing with the Stars, like every season now, especially in the spring. It's like whoever leaves the week before the finals was probably going to be a finalist if production didn't decide to get someone else, and then they like royally screw them over and they try and make them look bad. It's awful.
I hope AGT never does that.
AGT never like for as much as we complain about AGT, there's a few good things about it. One is like they don't try to make acts look bad. Like it's all positive. Like they don't give them bad packages. It's like everything's like no, we're cool. Like this is like an act. They don't show anything mean.
Yeah, they don't make it. They don't villainize anyone.
They don't villainize it. Like they don't like and they're judging like when it does get mean it's like honest they don't nitpick. I feel like I was scared like I don't think they're gonna do this now. I'm really scared they don't like I remember I was thinking like Simon was gonna try and nitpick Darcy so someone he could sign would win.
Yeah, but he didn't.
I don't think that's happening. Like, I'm scared he might do it this week, but like, I mean, like, no, they don't do that to anybody in the finals. So, has anyone been buzzed in the finals?
I
Has that happened?
don't think so. I really don't think so.
I guess, because I guess they don't want to be mad at America's winner. Although, like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of claims the voting is rigged.
I met Mirror Image. Mirror Image said
Oh
it
my
was real.
Okay, I want to hear this story. Let's hear about Mirror Image.
Okay, so I met Mirror Image like an hour before I went home, and I was looking for them. It's like, okay, they're here. I need to meet them. So I was looking around, and them and a few others were around. So I went right to them. So I met them. We took a selfie, and then like a few minutes later, I saw them again, and they were talking to like some fans or whatever. And the fans were like, "So the voting is real, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "The people on stage, they don't know if they're going through beforehand, right?" And Mirror Image is like, "Yeah, they have no clue. It's all 100% real." And they're like, "Oh, AGT pays for our hotel. The only thing they don't pay for is food. They pay for our stay. They pay for like us going out places. They pay for transportation." So Mirror Image gave us the inside scoop. So I trust them with my life. So they're not lying. Mirror Image. They're nice boys.
One of these reality shows is like they legally have to have like an outside company do the votes. Like they can't rig the votes.
Didn't Simon rig the votes in American Idol?
No, one company. There was like an outside company one season that were like, if you call such and such number, you get this free or whatever for like one contestant, and then that contestant won.
Mm.
And like from then on, it was all like these like hot guys winning. And like, I don't know. Like I don't think they can like rig it. But like they can definitely like push. That's why judges exist on these shows to kind of
to influence people's decisions. Like if Simon wouldn't have those puddles, people probably would have voted for him.
I know. That sucked. I still, I feel really bad for Damien, and I didn't even like his act that much. I just feel really bad.
I feel bad for him. Yeah, I mean,
I thought he was gonna be semifinals wild card. I'm like, okay, like production messed up his act. That wasn't his fault, you guys. You guys got to do it. And then Pompeo showed up. Like I don't understand why they picked Pompeo, especially because like Sarah and Hero. Although I mean, they didn't know they were going to the finals, but like with that group in the first semifinal, like yeah, they were gonna make it. So like, why would they pick Pompeo? Although I guess because like Colin was the only other non-singing dancing act that week, so like they kind of had to. But like they screwed who was in which week anyway. Why do you think they did that?
Why do you think they brought back Pompeo?
No, why they screwed people? Like you're performing such and such day now. By the way, like they announced.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like I don't get that at all because they switched Mandy's, switched Merrick's, and switched Christian's. At like last minute, like Mandy thought she was performing 1 week, and like nope, you're performing 2 weeks from now. AGT is it's a disaster.
They switched I don't know why they switched Merrick because they put all 3 dance acts in the same episode.
Mhm.
And like everything else is fine. Like Mandy going week 2, I think made more sense anyway because like Darcy was week 1, and like
yeah.
So like I'm glad they're like shooting. Like that was the only switch that made sense. Like
true. Yeah, I don't.
It was like singing, dancing 1 week, and other variety the other.
Yeah.
That was like weird. I don't know. Like I feel like they haven't done a good job like stacking the weeks very well. Cause like I feel like both last year and this year, week 3 of quarterfinals was just so blah.
Yeah, week 3 is like they just throw the ones that no one cares about in.
And then like I think actually I think they did it. I remember them doing a pretty good job with semifinals last year. But like this year, like semifinals was like so lopsided, and I remember it was lopsided to week 1 at first, and then they flipped around, and it was lopsided to the second week, and it was even more lopsided the second week than it was the first.
Yeah,
originally.
That's why the first week was just like I think if Colin was on the first week, he would have made it. I think if Diablo was on the first week, he would have gone right through.
I feel like he might have beaten Evie despite her sob story, because I feel like people like Ketchy more than Evie. Although people are gonna set, I think Evie's gonna place higher than Ketchy just because her father died. Other than that, if that hadn't happened, I don't think that would happen. I feel like if Colin was on the first week, he would get through. I feel like if Diablo was on the first week, they'd be top 3,
Mm-hmm.
and we might like see like Preacher or Sarah in the Duncan save. I feel like if Evie went week 2, she would be gone. Although
Yeah,
her father would have died, and they would have mentioned that. But like,
yeah,
if it was like the same situation, but like week 2 and week 1, like she would not go through. Chase probably would have been gone as well, actually, because like that's how stacked the week was.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. Like they need to like do better, I think, with that, because like week 1 quarters we lost Just Jerk, Bello, and Puddles,
mm-hmm.
and then
And that was awful.
like week 3 it was like all the fodder. It was like both wild
Mm-hmm.
cards, Oscar, and the dancing duo.
Angelina.
Oh, and Angelina. Like week 3 was like so boring. Like
Yeah.
I remember like I think okay, I'm gonna go look.
I'm happy I saw week 1 live. That was a good show to see live.
Yeah, week 3 of last year's quarterfinals was it was a bunch of like lesser acts, and then they had Brian and Grace, so it kind of balanced it out. Like who
Yeah.
was like the big one this season? Ketchy? Like
Catchy.
Ketchy was so cute. Like I mean, like Ketchy was like cute and everything. Like good job, like girl, but like I don't know, like that was like the big anchor. Like Diablo was also that way. Like, I feel like those were like the 2 acts, and everyone else was kind of boring. Like I remember saying the power rankings, this person did not give their best act this week, but they might move forward anyway because this week was like so boring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how it was in week 3.
Week 3 of live shows is like what?
Yeah. Like, Colin
Although
straight
week
up.
2 was actually week 2 was set to be good, and then it was like a mess, but it wasn't the
Yeah.
And then week 1 was like solid, but they made some bad decisions, and then like I don't know. I barely remember semifinal 1 of this year, and it was 2 weeks ago or less.
Yeah. Week 3 had good results though, despite being a boring
Week
show.
3 had good results. Yeah, I remember like not being mad. Like that was the only week this season I got the 2 acts I wanted from Duncan save through. And like I remember like when I first called you, I'm like, okay, so I'm like, okay, so Angie's getting Duncan save, and then Colin's probably gonna get the other one, and then
Creator Works got it, so that's good.
yeah, Great Works and Colin got through. I was really happy. I like both those. I'm also happy this season. Like at first, it was starting to look bad in this regard, but it's really good that they haven't. That more often than not, 3 to 5 times, they didn't cop out of the judge's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So that they actually use judge's choice.
I would have preferred, like, I don't know. I mean, I would have preferred they do that the second week with, I think it was the same Masqueraders. Like, please just send them through. That's like the one singing act that, yeah. And like, same with Just Jerk. Okay, the Just Jerk thing makes me mad.
Mm-hmm.
With Simon.
They were so good. And they lost to what, Christian and Yoli?
They lost the because Simon picked Yoli even though he admitted she sucked.
I know, he's like, Just Jerk, you were awesome, Yoli, you were
like if he picked Just Jerk, we would have been over this.
Just Jerk deserves better.
Just Jerk. I wouldn't even be mad if they were in the finals. Like I had my thread on Reddit, Dream Finale, and I'm like, well, out of the live show acts, like Just Jerk was like on the bubble for it, and I picked Puddles, ironically because I had more dancers than singers already.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Just Jerk, I would have been fine with them in the finals. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with most of the finals except for the boring singers who I will probably elect to ignore.
Yeah.
As much as I can, because I do have to blog that part. I'm just like, yeah, they were fine. Bye. Whatever. Okay. Let's do. I don't know. Should we have? I feel like we're gonna bore people. I feel like no one's gonna watch this far. But like, okay. So, lightning round. Okay. So I'm gonna. Let's just. Okay. This is a game I sometimes do. I'm just gonna say like best this, and you can say like the first thing that comes to your mind.
Like the first thing that comes to my mind.
Like like whatever your first answer is. So like, well, like we can do, I guess, best guest judge of the season.
Best guest judge. I really liked.
I liked Chris, I think.
I was gonna say Chris, but then I was trying to remember who like the middle two were.
There
DJ
was
Khaled,
Chris, DJ
Letterman.
Khaled, who was hilarious because like I remember him watching like reacting to everything and like freaking out. Like
Yeah.
he was like I watched. Okay, to be completely honest, I think the video I've watched the most this season is mirror image judge cuts, just because of everyone's reactions.
Oh my god, their dance movement like on each other, and Simon was like,
Selfie was like, "It's okay," to DJ Khaled because he was like, "What is this?" Selfie and how he looked so excited when they started. Like, yay! And like, I don't know. So I guess I'd say Chris. I mean, like, cause he at least explained why he picked Angelica after like he explained her and like, it's cool. He's like, it's cool. Yeah, I get it. I also liked Seal until he felt Simon's manipulation.
Yeah. What he did with John.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite singer that's not an original songwriter.
I can't say Mandy.
Then you're gonna say her.
Favorite singer who's not an original artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say Johnny because he only did it once. Mandy might top. Can I say Darcy? Yeah, sure, because that's who I'm thinking.
Yeah, except for my phone.
Oh, I picked Puddles. Sorry.
Puddles.
I picked Puddles.
Like, are we doing like semi-finalist on or like?
No, anyone anyone this season. Like.
Oh, okay.
Literally anyone on this season.
Okay, Puddles definitely.
Okay. Favorite dance act.
Just Jerk.
I'm gonna say Diablo if they count, and if not, then Light Balance. But just Jerk's good too. And Merrick's like they had so much good dancing this season. Okay. Okay. Favorite joke act.
Joku. Well, there was Joku, Mirror Image, Singing Trump, Dancing Pumpkin Man. I like Dancing Pumpkin Man.
Circus Alphon. I don't know if they were supposed to be a joke man after now. Oh, Dancing Pumpkin Man. Oh my gosh, I sort of wanted that to be a wild card.
Me too. I want him to make it.
I would have liked that better than either of the two. Like, I hate saying this because, like, I know I say like any acting job. Oscar and Gasper was not an act.
I know it was a stage talent.
That was like the equivalent of like Free Illusion Dance Company if they just stood there.
Yeah, like I didn't get it.
Oscar and Gasper was not an act.
Oscar and Gasper is a flop.
Favorite group act.
Group act.
That's like more than two people.
More than two people. So that's like dancers and group singers. I
guess. Or Circus Alphon counts.
Alphon.
I would pick Diablo.
Probably them or Light Balance.
Okay. Act I don't know if this is true. Act you ironically voted for.
Mirror Image. I did.
I feel like them, and I feel like some people ironically voted for Oscar, but like I really hate the comparisons between Oscar and Mirror Image because Oscar's an actual choreographer. He actually like it's like his actual career.
Yeah, and Mirror Image is just we just do this in our school.
Like they got rejected from Idol. Did you hear?
Yeah, I did. I heard.
So funny. Like I feel bad, but like that was funny. Mirror Image should go on the Gong Show.
They should.
Like I feel like some acts would do really well on the Gong Show.
Mhm.
Act that got robbed in judge cuts that didn't get brought back as a wild card because I know we were gonna say Bella.
Do you remember that? Okay, I'm torn between Henry Richardson and do you remember Kyle Eskin? He was like that dry humor magician.
Barely, but I hear how great he is. Wasn't he in the finals of AGT Reddit?
He's in the finals of the AGT Reddit, and he was on Penn and Teller Fool Us, and he's basically Piff without a costume. So he's so funny.
Like, I feel like he'd be good. I don't know, like there's too many for me to pick one.
Dancing Pumpkin Man, Joku,
Daniel, a lot of people.
Daniel for the Impressionist, yeah.
Yes, I love his YouTube. Like I'm obsessed with his YouTube. No, like he's one.
I don't look that.
He does really. He's just so nice. He's just so fun. Okay. Okay. Act you wanted to see in the finals that didn't make it. I'll say Bello.
Billy and Emily? Yeah.
I feel like they were good. Like it's funny because they got eliminated in the same round.
Yeah.
Although BGT semifinals are intense compared to AGT. Like
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
have finals. It's just like, hey, here's 10 act 2 we're going through.
Yeah.
That's like I ran it. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. There's like no quarterfinals. It's just.
It's just okay. You're in a live show. You're probably gonna get eliminated. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Like they don't even attempt to warm up because like the quarterfinals is like a good time for people to warm up and kind of experiment with things. Like that's the week if you need to like if you want to try and like do something new, that's the week to do it because like you have more than 50% chance of moving on.
Yeah.
Semis you have to build on semis and finals you have to build on what you've already done. But like
That's true.
quarterfinals you can kind of reinvent yourself and sort of get away with it.
It's true.
Okay. Act type you want to see next to win next season.
Although it's not going to happen, a danger act. So, since not, a magic act.
I want a band to come and win. Like if we have to have singers, a band, it's fine, or maybe even a non-singing band. I kind of want like a circus act to win.
Yeah, like danger, like Billy and Emily, Bello.
Like even Diablo was kind of like a circus act.
Yeah,
Like Sophie was my favorite last season. I think out of everybody.
And Victor Key, like that kind of stuff.
I was kind of mad when Victor Key got in over Steven. Just because he kept messing up his act.
Yeah, he did. He dropped like every time, but still, it was good.
Victor Key was the one like I'm like at every season, like every week last season, like hey, he's going home, he's going home, he's going home.
Nope.
Nope. Like I had him bottom of the power rankings like every single week. No, he's in the finals.
It was because of his.
Like I mean like that Duncan save was so sad. Like that was hard to watch.
I know they were good friends too.
Like I feel like this season the acts have been really close with each other. And I didn't get that as much last season, but like those three seemed like so close, and that was just like kind of emotional.
Sophie, Victor, and Steven were like BFFs. They were like a squad.
Like I've seen like Sophie and Steven do stuff together since. It's just so sweet. Like
all the people who were in quarterfinal 2 last year, they just kind of like formed a little alliance.
Who was in quarterfinal 2? Was that the one where? Oh, that was the one where Throwings left, right? And then everyone like rioted.
Yeah, that was Katie Lynn, Stephen Brundage, Sophie Dawsey, Clairvoyance,
right?
What?
Were Brian and Grace the same quarter or the same semi? I remember them being on the same night, and I was like, what?
Quarter.
Was Clairvoyance on 2? Clairvoyance was 2, right?
Clairvoyance was week 2. Ryan and Amber were week 2.
Oh yeah, that's when that happened. I don't remember who else was. I remember it was Sal, Katie, and Throwings.
Sal was 2.
And I wanted Katie to win because I liked her voice the best, and Throwings was getting repetitive for me. So like, everyone like attacked me for that. But yeah, like, but yeah, that was a good week. Like that was a good episode. Was that the one with Sauce and Victoria? Like,
yeah, they closed the show and they flopped.
I remember being so excited for them, and then like that happened, and I was so sad. Like they were one of the ones I was like so excited for, because I'm like, oh, this is.
Yeah. Why did they close the show? I mean, I thought Callie was gonna close the show.
Oh yeah, Callie. I didn't know Callie. I barely remember Callie. I'm sorry.
Callie, Sophie, and the girl from Edgar, they're like best friends. It's all the people from that quarterfinal too that are all just friends with each other.
Yeah, like that's like the clique. I don't know. Like this season, there seems to be like a lot of friendships. There's like Merrick, Evie, and Darcy, and then sometimes Christian with them. Angie and Evie. Angie and Mirror Image and Yoli.
Sarah and Mandy.
Sarah, Mandy, Colin. That's like a trio.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, I feel like I don't know, like this was like a season where like everyone's like really seems like a lot closer to each other.
Angelica and Darcy, especially.
Angelica, I feel like Angelica had someone else too. I forgot who. I don't. There's just a lot of friendships, and like I feel like there's like a more of a sense of closeness this season. Like I feel like everyone's like I see more backstage stuff with each other. I don't
They're
know.
all like bonding backstage. And,
Yeah, like even if like I mean like there's some really good talent this season, but like even if the talent's lesser, like it's still sweet to watch. Like I'm gonna like be sad when this season's over.
me too. We got like 1 week
It's so
left.
fun. Like it's been like train wrecky fun.
It's been
And like
fun.
and then I'm genuinely happy when people do well though. Like
Yeah.
people improved. Like I was like, yay,
Mm-hmm.
good job, you improved, gold star. I don't know.
It's nice
I
to
know,
watch an act go from like doing like a performance where people are like to them like doing really really good. Like
yeah,
so, yeah.
like I was like, I don't know, like there's a few of them. Like I was really happy. Like I mean, Darcy was great. I was really happy when Darcy improved. I was really happy when Mandy came out like without the ukulele and like departed from that. Um, Diavolo got even better.
Mhm.
Like they were just good and then they got better. I don't know. There was okay, fine. I guess like I really do have to go soon. Wow, yeah, it's after midnight. I have to go in a few minutes.
All right.
Um, I'm sorry. Like
It's,
I need to work on my sleep schedule. That's why.
mhm.
One last, so I guess one more thing. Like I was talking about this in the blog. I'm probably gonna write about it. Who the audience kind of connects to. Like I feel like groups are at a major disadvantage, especially with the way the show is now with all the stories. Cause like they really tried with like Just Jerk had a story, the Brobots had a story, Light Balance kind of had a story,
Yeah,
but like
a lot
yeah,
of
except for
stuff.
Light Balance, who's well, I don't think they got through because of the story. Like I don't know, it hasn't really worked. Like I don't know, like how can groups like do well on the show? Because I feel like I know at least one group has won BGT,
Mhm.
and that was the year Susan Boyle was there.
Yeah.
The ones who beat her, she got second. Um, but I feel like I don't know, like look, cause like I feel like I think every single time a group spin and Duncan save this season. Like last season, I know Malevo got it. Every single time group spin and Duncan save this season, they've lost,
Mhm.
and they were in like last. Like Diablo, everyone loved like Diablo was last in theirs. For like the Duncan save vote, not Judge's Choice. Greater Works was last. Just Jerk was last, and I was so sad.
Mhm.
Like, wasn't that so? Like that's just like depressing now.
Yeah. That the way people vote based on their stories rather than their
Yeah,
talent.
like and even like Christian Yoli didn't even have that major stories. Like I know Christian was blind.
It's not blind anymore.
I know, like he's not blind anymore. Like Angelica, like I think people just like Angelica's voice, so I can forgive that.
Yeah. And she's 10. No, it's cute. So.
A lot of but like that's why I'm so amazed. Diablo and Light Balance are still here. Like both of them are still here. Like that's amazing.
Mhm.
And I think like once I got over my shock of Diablo and like in my I'm like you were eliminated in my mind. Why are you here? Like cause like I don't know, just cause I was like cause like the day before leaving up, I'm like okay, I want Colin to get through the save because I know he's gonna be there. And like
Same.
when Diablo showed up, like I would normally been really happy, but I was like so soon they were gone. Like I was like almost my mind was almost against him. I'm like no, I want him to go through, but like my mind was like sort of like I don't know like
I knew
rejected
it was
them
gonna be
in a way.
Diablo.
Like it's just so weird. Like because like now I can look and be like yeah I want them through, but like at the time like my brain was like so prepared for them to leave like like I just like it felt like it wasn't reality and like I had cognitive dissonance. It was very strange.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
don't
good
know.
that they did it.
But I'm really glad they're here. Like I'm really glad they're still here. Like I watched them all again. I'm like, yes, they should be here. Okay. And like Diablo was my favorite actor tonight. That was such a weird feeling. Like maybe because like I don't know, maybe I can like maybe I'm connecting to the individuals more. But like I really try and like support the groups.
Because it's dance, and I know you watch like a lot of dance shows. So.
I don't even dance. Like I just like I started dancing with the stars because I was interested in some of the stars, and then I liked it because like it's kind of like team dynamics and stuff. Like I like watching that, and I like some people do like creative stuff on there. Like people do all out craziness. And then like I started watching because I got connected with the pros. But then I like started thinking dance because like there's people from Dancing with the Stars on that now. So like I connected. And, like, I just went through that and same with World of Dance. So like that's how I got into that because like I don't dance, but like I don't know. And now I'm like, but now I feel like called to support the dance community.
Yeah.
Like that's why. Well, I mean, I would have rooted for like Balance and Diablo anyway. I think, but yeah, I don't know. Like I do a lot of. I don't know. I feel like totally unqualified to cover dance, but like I do. So
With me, it's magic because like I buy magic tricks online and I do magic and I like magic, so I'm always rooting for the magician and.
I am rooting. Like I feel like when I watch Got Talent, like I root for the magicians and the circus people first.
Same.
Like the dance well. Right now, it's pretty much turned into anyone who's not like some karaoke singer.
Variety acts.
Any
Like
variety act,
Diablo is
pretty much.
considered variety to me.
Like it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you said, like it's a miracle Mandy's your favorite.
Yeah, like singer's never my favorite. But Mandy's very nice, so.
Yeah, Mandy's a really good choice. So like Mandy actually like, I don't know. She like I feel like she'd be successful. And like I don't know, like I like Darcy even though she's a singer because she's a variety act.
Yeah. She's not just a singer.
She's not like just a singer. It's like singing enhances it. But like it's comedy,
like
it's ventriloquism.
she
It's like a
brings her
little act.
puppets to life.
I don't know, like and I tend to like try and root for this. I remember voting for both stand-up comedians last year and then Preacher this year, so like I like them. So I think anything that's not a singer.
Preacher is the only comedian this year, so of course people are gonna root for him.
Yeah, like I'm like Preacher's the only comedian. Yeah, he's probably gonna make the finals now.
Yeah, and here he is.
Cause like he's the only. Then I thought like, well, I thought Eric and maybe Colin like like being the only comedian, the magicians of their nights might help them. But
yeah, but
it sort of did. It got them to Duncan save.
magicians.
I still maintain if Colin had gone later in the running order, he might have, like, if him and like I don't know, the late balance or even Pompeo switch, he might have been in top 3 or.
That's possible.
If like if he was like second last, he would be top 3 instead of late balance, and late balance would got a save. Or wait, no, it would be late balance versus Diablo because group. So yeah.
Mhm.
That I feel like they were hoping for that. Like I was surprised they didn't call up Celine and Angelica together.
Yeah.
I was like
They
waiting.
called it Celine and Mandy. It was Celine and Mandy, and I'm like, I hope it's Mandy, and it was, so I was happy.
They call it like I was like waiting for like Celine and Angelica or them to do like a head-to-head like balance Diablo because like that was like because everyone was comparing those. I don't know like yeah, running order plays a lot into things. Like it's the same on every reality show. Like if you go last, everyone says Dancing with the Stars. You go last week, you're not going home next.
Yeah, like the people who go last.
Or no, you're not going home that night, because like
Mhm.
they know on Dancing with the Stars usually they do dance and then they have another week where they do a whole nother dance and then the results for the last week are revealed, and that's kind of how So You Think works too. And like on Dancing with the Stars, it's if you go last, you're not going home that night. It means you're staying for another week because they want you to get more votes. So it's like
that's how it is in AGT.
On So You Think they kind of like play with you a little bit with that. But like AGT, yeah, except for Mike Young, I think everyone
Mike Young, I was gonna say,
has advanced automatically.
He was mad when he got voted off.
He was, oh my gosh, he's the only one who's mad. Like no one else was mad, at least out loud.
Everyone
like,
else
was really sad, but like they weren't mad.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sad, I get it. But he was like, I'm pissed. America's got it wrong. I'm like, dude.
I mean, I've seen a couple people like some tweets about too many singers. But even then, I know they're friends with the singers, and I know they're liking them because it's fan support, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so to wrap this up, my main thought is I really hope the judges, like, remember what Howie said, he's been saying it the past few weeks. You can only see this stuff on AGT, we gotta, like, keep it around. So, please support stuff besides singers.
Unless if it's Mandy, then that's okay.
Unless it's Mandy or Darcy, then it's totally okay. But I mean more next season.
Yeah. Oh, I get you.
We're gonna buzz 8 singers. I think we can cool it with bringing on other ones. Like 8 out of 36 is already like yeah, that's like
it's like a quarter of them.
That's nearly a quarter.
Almost a third. Yeah. Well, yeah, close enough. A quarter of them.
That's like 8 times 4 is 32. So like that's like almost like about a fifth of them, which is
maybe.
Like considering Magic was like 1/18. of the season. That was sad.
That's sad. I know, right? It's like
They
5%.
played us twice. Like
They
one
play
week,
mine.
like no Magic's going through. I'm like, okay, next week Magic's going through. It has to, and no.
I didn't like that.
That was sad. I don't know. Like this season's been so weird. So thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. I want to do this more maybe next year because like I was hoping to get it off the ground this year with these talks, and I feel like these talks would be like a lot more like focused when we actually it's like we're doing it per show. So like if you or anyone else wants to come on and join us next year, like we can do that because I did this with Dancing Stars last season. It was a lot of fun. I was hoping to this season for America's Got Talent didn't happen, but like I think next season I want to do it, and I think we can get more viewers too because the Dancing with the Stars one's got a decent amount of viewers, and I run an AGT blog which has readers.
Cool.
So yeah, so like I can get that going. So yeah, so thank you very much. I'm gonna just stop the podcast now, okay? But it's over, okay?